Yeah, GM, give me 1 second. I gotta tweet this out. I haven't just spur of the moment space. Got back from Bible study a little bit ago. NFT market is moving. And back in the day, just fun fact, every other major stock move started out with one of these spaces. So we'll run it back. Just give me a second while I tweet this out. I haven't even seen who's in the audience yet. Just a second, y'all. Okay. Tweet is sent out. We're going to get this rolling. If you guys want to come up and join the space or join the stage, feel free to. Basically, all we're going to talk about tonight, not just talk about the stocks, we'll talk about everything in the NFT space, what's been happening over the course of the past several weeks, heck, several years, and where we really see things heading up to over the course of the next several years, right? Like, NFT space has been a weird spot where not a lot of people, other than a lot of the people that are in here right now, really have had conviction of what is going to happen and what it's going to look like as it does. We've seen a little glimpse of that recently with Pudgies and what they're starting to do. But at the end of the day, man, 20 ETH, 25 ETH, 30 ETH for where they are right now is absolutely nothing compared to where I really think they're going to be. Um, yeah, we're at the very, very, very leading edge of this NFT run. It hasn't really even started yet because again, outside of what's happening at the top, we're seeing slight moves across the market, but nothing really major yet, right? So exciting stuff coming up. Mr. Lander, how's it going, sir? Welcome on or on stage.
What's going on, Cal? Leo? Thanks for having us or having me up. Hope you had a good time at Bible study.
Appreciate it, man. It's good as always. So but yeah, man, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, feeling good. Things are looking a lot better than they were a few months ago. I'll say that financially. So shout out all the Penguin holders. Congratulations to you guys. I only have littles, but still some massive gains there. So yeah, very happy with it. What about you?
Oh, dude, it's been fun. Um, just seeing the way everything's starting to move right now. I mean, recently, in all the spaces that we've had recently with stonks, etc., it's been like you just sit there and you're you got to cast a vision of when NFTs start to move. This is what it looks like, right? Like they're a less liquid asset traditionally than meme coins, which on the way down makes it that much more painful, right? When you're sitting there and it feels less liquid, but like on the way up, the reverse happens, right? It's a lot easier to see the momentum shift. And it doesn't take nearly as much capital to really start to see those multiples happen. So, like, if you've been sitting there and you're like, yeah, well, I'm going to enter project XYZ at whatever floor price, or I'll wake up the next day or, the next week, the next month, and I'll do it there. A lot of the times, man, like those incredible entries you have the opportunity for fly right past you. Um, so I think we're still in that stage where there are a lot of projects right now that have solid communities that have survived throughout the bear market that just are incredibly undervalued. And you're going to see insane multiples start to happen with some of these pretty soon, right? Like, but we really, really, really haven't had that yet. Pudgies are starting at the top and it's going to bleed down across the market. We're seeing a little bit of that happen right now. But yeah, I think it's getting a little bit easier for people to start to believe that.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, I know just a few days ago with different network here, but BTC Natcats, they were at like $1,000, and I didn't have the funds to buy it. I needed to wait till the market to open Monday to sell some stuff, but they pumped to like 1900, and I was like, I don't want them to go up anymore, so I bought it 1900, and then like 12 hours later, it was already like 2500. So the market does move quick, especially with NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, even right now, right? Like looking at the floor price of stonks, it's up point 0.1 to 0.15 right now. That's 50% in a day. But if you really look at it though, it's still like you see collections that are in this range, or we have in the past that have absolutely ripped, multiples. My whole thing is you put in the patience for this, and I think the majority of people that are large bag holders at this point, especially with where the market is, like where Bitcoin's hitting 100K plus, the majority of people didn't come around to just see the door knocked back on those, the previous all-time high in the point 0.3, point 0.4 area and just stop there, right? Like that's one thing that I think a lot of new projects struggle with is just identifying that really cultish core group, um that you can't really replicate outside of building through the shit that has been the bear market, right? Like at the end of the day, the bear market was painful. It was, and you had to have a lot of conviction to be able to sit there and go through it, and you built relationships that I think are something that transcends whatever price action is happening momentarily. Price action can only build so much conviction. I think it's the sitting there and the grinding out all the other stuff, the in between, that really builds that super strong base that ends up being a launch pad later on.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think if you were to launch a project today, I feel like most of the capital in the space is in some type of cult already, like Wonky Stonks, Pudgies, Pandas, something like that. Like, I don't know how you would get the new capital coming in for a new project.
Yeah, and some of the capital's there, but it's like, what is the sticking power, right? How do you turn that into something that is, that's bigger, right? Like, I still believe at the end of the day, I love that this guy posted this Digi Desperado, because at the end of the day, I still think Stonks, like the idea behind it is so much different than the average collection you see moving right now. Where right now you're seeing some PFPs that are starting to move, but like the art space is still working its way up, right? Like the art space is still something that hasn't had as much attention yet. It's not competing with the liquidity from the PFP space. Like it's complementary, and you look at the projects that are really succeeding right now, like the Pudgies, for instance. Look at how many Pudgy wallets own Wonky Stonks, right? Like look at how many of the projects, look at how many seals, look at how many frogs, look at a bunch of these different things, and look at like how it crosses over. Stonks are the OG art project of this whole genre, right? Of the new age of things that are really moving in. So I've got zero doubt. Like when I was walking around at Art Basel, how many people were just familiar with the brand of me wearing the T-shirt, and how many conversations that sparked up, and how many people told me that was my first NFT, right? Like, and I'm like, do you have a bag right now? And the majority of the people that I talk to are like, oh no, but I love them. I need to, right? Like the crazy thing about life in general, about any asset is it's true what they say, the whole meme of the art looks better the higher the price of something is. So, like, the whole legitimacy of it, like, it happens. It's one of those things, it's inevitable, right? Like, the, you know, as it starts to move, you start to get the FOMO, and you start to get people where all these seeds have been planted over the years of getting the awareness of what the stonks are. Like it resonates with people. I really think that it's only a matter of time before that sparks up, and that's kind of been the belief. It's the belief now, it's the belief when we were at 0.05 ETH, and it'll be the belief if if and when we ever get up to the multiple ETH area, right? Like the same thesis applies where art is transcendent, right? It's unfuddable.
I don't want to jinx it, but I mean, there's a massive God candle on the Wonky Stonks chart. So hopefully that just keeps going straight up.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, 0.05 ETH, that's nothing.
It is
You
fifty
got me all
percent though.
fired up. What's up, Lander? You got me all fired up, Kaleo.
What's
I'm
going
looking
on,
at
Crow?
mine right now. They look a lot better today than they did yesterday. That's for sure.
Hey, they'll keep looking better, man. That's the thing. Dude, think about it this way. If you look at the cycle of where we are right now, bull market perspective, it's basically like we're in, freaking December of 2020, right? How many NFTs were even relevant in December of 2020? What was the price of a bunch of those different things? I'm telling, like, we are at the stage right now where the blue chips are really just starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. NFTs last bull market lagged way behind the price action of the major assets like the bitcoins, the other L1s, everything themselves. So the fact that we're getting any movement right now across the board shows you, in my opinion, how much bigger this NFT cycle is going to be than the last one. Stocks are inevitable.
Stonks are inevitable. That's how I felt after Basel the 2 years ago when we went. It was so great connecting with everybody, and there was an energy back then. I'm sure the energy was like off the charts this year with Bitcoin already having breaking 100,000. Like, how are the vibes in Miami this year?
I mean, dude, they were amazing. And the crazy part is they were amazing. And the NFT markets really barely even started to move. I think that part of it is that you had some synergies with the meme coin stuff, right? And there were a lot of people at Basel that had the meme coin narrative that, had been killing it off that. But overall, man, again, you know, where Basel started was from the NFT side of things. And I think everybody there, it's like this dormant volcano getting ready to erupt. Everybody there wants to believe, but you would also find it funny. I don't think that, I was one of the few people in there that really believed NFTs were going to like surpass what they did last cycle. The majority of people I talk to still don't believe that yet. Most people have to see the price action to be able to believe the vision, right? Like they have to see to believe. So I think that's still something. There are a lot of people that are hungry, that are waiting and would love to believe it, but just don't really have the ability. They're too scarred right now. So as things start to move, there are a lot of like sideline ready and willing buyers for the NFT market in general that they just have to wait to see things move a little bit more, right? Like they're not willing to get burned again in their mind. That's what they're thinking. They're like, I'd rather do meme coins. Where I think the real alpha right now is still the NFTs. Like I really, really do. I think it's an easier W than the majority because there are a lot of prices or a lot of projects suppressed floor prices that may take a little bit longer for a win than some of the memes that are out there, but you'll have a way higher strike rate with them. So, yeah. Rooster, welcome to the stage, man. How's it going?
Ah, doing well. How's everyone else doing?
Can't complain, man. I mean, again, stonks are starting to wake up a little bit. Prophecy's starting to be fulfilled a little bit. One thing I'm gonna do real quick. I didn't pin this up here earlier. Okay, if you guys that what I just pinned up, the tweet with the spaces, if you guys could like and give that a retweet, that'd be awesome. And even better, if you could drop a comment, actually, yeah, drop a comment on the bottom right corner too, just to the link to the space. Anything, if you got something you want to add to it, the more that we can just pump this pump the space up, the better. I think it's fun to be able to have more people in here, bring more communities in here as well. um but yeah, Rooster, what have you been paying attention to today?
Today I actually hit the mountain today. So I spent all day snowboarding. It was a great day on the mountain. Can't complain. Came back. No one nuked charts. In fact, some charts got some pretty good candles. Um, so happy about that. Just sitting cozy, waiting patiently for my turn. Also, while DJing gambling, I did play some blackjack when I got home with the boys with some of the abashos, and came up on blackjack a little bit. So,
Yo, my Basho theory is the same as it was too. Where, in the chat, I don't know if you saw this, somebody was like, man, the only reason why I don't want to see a Basho send as much is because I only own one. I mean, they're only 250. And my counter to that is owning an Basho isn't necessarily about. Did I mute myself? Yeah, I did.
yeah, you rugged.
Um, did
I
I
like the
say the whole
suspense,
thing about
though.
owning an Basho isn't about selling it later on? Y'all hear that?
No, that's where you muted.
Okay, so owning the Abasho isn't about selling it later on. Like the higher the floor price is, I mean, obviously you can, but it gives more status and more weight to the overall opinion as the group as a whole, right? Like if somebody sees it in there, it's like, again, it's you can, but it's about the idea that they carry more influence, more status, there's more pull. So that's really, I think, what the idea behind it becomes. Like you've got all these people that are like Chad Penguin holders,
Oh yeah,
Chad just
dude.
holders across the board.
There's
So
like fucking 50 million in PFPs, just in a Basho, and Penguin PFPs in a Basho. Luca's a Basho. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be real crazy if they end up getting a Pengu allocation for 250, a collection of 250, bro. That would end up crazy. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm not holding my breath, but that would be something else if they got a Pengu allocation. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I am just waiting until we do the Soulbound show, and as soon as that drops, I'm immediately burning one of my boss shows to be a Soulbound show.
burning, wait for a soulbound.
Yep. Uh, yeah, pretty much just burning the NFT and being a lifetime show.
Bro, I'm surprised honestly that
Because if you only have one and you get drained, like I'm sorry, we're kicking you out the chat. Like you gotta be like So if you get soulbound the show, then you even if you get drained, you'll always be the show.
yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that the Abasho community hasn't launched any type of Abasho subsidiary project yet. I think that'll end up happening down the road. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean the idea of a basho, and it might come around full circle again. When NFTs kind of start taking off, was to be more of like a you know uh, like a artist launch pad, more to like just bring recognition to artists that are working in the space. Nothing too crazy, and that was the initial initiative, and then it kind of just turned into like a pretty large group of Chads um, and Chadettes as well, many female Basho, and yeah, wouldn't trade it for anything. Always will be Basho.
Yeah. I mean, again, a lot of Abashos is stock. Well, like again, you look through the synergies of everything. It's inevitable, man. So some of the people that swept stonks today, looked through it, had solid collection outside of that, just across the NFT landscape. Obviously there were some penguins, but there were some apes also that entered today with their first stonk sweeps. And you look at the floor right now, bro. On the floor for 0.15, I'm kind of shocked that there are just a few gems that are sitting there, right? Like at the floor, you have two ribbons, you have like three of my favorite type of charts, which are the wonky themed area charts, right? Like I just think as far as mashups and that type of stuff are concerned,
Bro,
there's
those
some of the
are also
best.
some of my favorite ones. The wonky area gradients go
I think there's some of the
crazy.
best ones for mashups in general. Actually, shoot, I'm
They go
looking at it. No,
crazy.
there are shoot three, four. There are three ribbons, not two. There are three ribbons, and Itchy is on the floor. No, there are four ribbons, and Itchy, and then three wonky themed like area charts, plus another wonky themed. It's like one of the craziest floors that I've ever seen. I can't believe the Itchy's sitting there too.
Yeah, and hella bullish stonks too.
Yeah,
And
you're
bullish
right.
is a rare trait.
So anyway, like I'm telling you right now, that's the beautiful thing about the floor moving up. And then the crazy thing is, once that gets swept, you look at the next thing, like the whole 0.16 to 0.18 area. There are also a bunch of gems.
Oh yeah, you buy
It's
one little pudgy's worth, you get 21 stonks. Brings
and
the
you would
floor
have
up
like
to
a sweep right now would be a hell of a collection
grails.
though
That
too.
would be grails. It'll probably happen. People don't got much time before some people start cherry picking.
Yeah, I mean, right now people are just in the phase where there are a lot of people that are entering that don't really have an idea. They're not really looking through the rarities. They're not really looking through that type of stuff yet. They're just like, I want an entry. But the longer that you're in it, the more that I think you get to certain points where the grails of what the community that's in here has recognized over the years start to like surface back up. So we haven't got to the rare hunting yet. That'll end up happening. I
Speaking
mean,
of rares, RIP Rarity Tools.
did it go down?
Yeah, they sunsetted the platform like 2 days ago.
I'm surprised nobody bought that.
Dude, I know. Like that's where most of 2021. Like, how much did you have to pay to get on Rarity Tools? Wasn't it like 1 to 3?
And you're telling me they sunsetted it right as the NFT market
Dude,
started to
that
pick up?
timing couldn't be
It's like the
better, right?
RTKFT, the RTFKT Nike thing. Like the fact that people are shutting shop down right as shit is picking up is wild to me. But you know what it goes back to? It goes back to the whole idea of what I was talking about at Basel, where even the majority of these people, I'm not going to like mention names. I talk to people that have NFT collections, like that are founders of projects. And they told me they don't believe their projects slash most projects will ever reach those highs again. They don't think that we'll ever see mints again. They just don't have the conviction as much in the NFT space because in their mind, they're like meme coins are the new meta. Meme coins are going to be like, they don't
Bro,
realize that both can happen, right?
right
Like,
now, a new mint would go so crazy. Like if it was good art, a new PFP mint would go so crazy right now. I'm not even lying.
yeah. So the fact that we're not back to that yet, we're going like that's the thing I'm saying right now. All of the people that are launching these soul memes, all of the celebrities that are doing that, they're going to rotate back to launching NFT projects too. Like it's going to happen, man. And the fact that people don't believe everything that made NFTs bullish last bull market are going to make them even more bullish this time around, right? Like it's simple. It's a really easy concept. Meme coins were there last cycle, right? That didn't mean that NFTs couldn't take off. Meme coins are here this cycle and they've done bigger numbers, right? The base asset price of all these things are bigger. There's more capital inflow, more retail attention. NFTs are going to do bigger numbers this time. It's just simple. It's like people still want to collect digital art, they want to collect history. They want to collect something that brings them into a community that identifies them, that is an easy flex, right? Like there are so many reasons for why they'll continue to take off.
The liquidity suck when some of the money does move, and it snowballs, is going to be glorious from the quickness I will jeet so many meme coins to go playing NFTs again, just because it's so much more fun. Will be like really fast. There's not a better way to put it. I will throw my meme coin bags off the edge of a cliff to come back to NFT land and gamble on more JPEGs. That's all I want to do.
BTC Art, the legend, the Dino Dix man himself. How's it going, sir?
Hey, love and light. How are you?
Doing well, man. Good hearing your voice as always.
I've missed you guys. It's NFT season again.
Just barely, man. It's starting to enter into it a little bit, just a little bit, but we're not really even there yet. We're scratching the surface, man.
Well, let me tell you a quick story and I'll be brief. I got a one text message, right click save from my best friend. I mean longtime best friend. 2 years ago, we went in on I convinced him to get a pudgy. And he needed such convincing that I was like, listen, I'll buy half, you buy half. It was right around 5 grand. 2 years later, he sends me tonight a picture of that NFT that's been sold for $100,000. This is why you do not talk to your friends about anything that has to do with the blockchain, crypto, or NFTs, because even if they make $2,000, they're going to pretend they lost 98,000.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me you have not been there 100 times.
I have, man. I have.
I mean, $20 is $20. Am I right, Crow?
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
If I'm lying, I'm dying. That's my truest story, and I'm
Wait,
so
so
excited.
he
I think
cheated it for a 2K profit?
no, I cheated it because he said he said you do what you want to do, and I said, man, I think it's a hold, and he's like, it's your call. You're the one that believes in the NFTs, and I'm like, man, I just want out. I don't want to be a part of this, Like I'll hold my stuff, I'll do my thing, but that's one of the things you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Like next thing you know, your daughter's knocked up and there's $10 missing from the dresser. I've seen it a million times.
Dang, homie's never gonna buy an NFT again because he made only 2 grand on NFTs.
Right. I made 2 grand in 2 months, and now it's worth 100. And good for somebody else. I mean, if you don't have conviction, you don't have conviction. That's why I've been holding Wonky Stonks for as long as I have. We all have. We know what's coming.
Preach, preach, preach. It's beautiful
Yeah, I
words coming
should.
from you.
I'm man, I'm just so thankful. Kaleo, appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Rooster, thank you for all the wonderful calls and 110 and all the good stuff. Everyone in the Wonky Stonk fam, just want to tell you love and light. I got to run, but I just had to step up and say thank you, thank you, thank you. It's amazing to be back in the bull, especially for all y'all that hung around and built in the bear. Y'all mean the world to me. You know it. Peace.
Yeah, appreciate you as well, man. You fire me up every time I get to talk to you. So love you. Take it easy. And we'll I better see you on more of these. Again, it's been too long.
Well, if you ever need someone to say dick a bunch of times for no reason except for juvenile uh, dick jokes on the blockchain, I'm your man.
Always do.
All right. Peace be with you.
He's like the Wonky Stonks version of ALX.
Bro, I met ALX in person the other day. It was crazy at the thing because You know, he'd never met me before. I guess he hadn't seen the docs pictures that I'd sent out yet. So he was like, "Oh, is that a Stonks shirt? No way! I freaking love the Stonks. I'm a Stonks holder." And I kind of digged around with him for a minute. I was like, "Oh, no way! What do you think of him, man? Like, hadn't I've been holding them for a while." And we kind of just go back and forth. I let him know pretty quickly that I was me. But cool dude. Glad I got to meet him.
I have not yet met him in person. Honestly, I've been a little bit scared too from my interactions with him in the group chat. But he is a cool dude.
Well, I have not had those interactions. I haven't seen them, so I'm not sure what the stories are. But he seemed normal
Oh,
enough. I might have
oh
been
man.
tricked on that one, but yeah.
He's Metaverse Man's quant. Metaverse Man's down here in the audience. He's Metaverse Man's quant.
I need to hear the story behind this.
Uh,
For better or
just
for
pop,
worse.
no, just pop into the chat at any time and scroll. ALX is always there, posting peens.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that, thankfully. Like,
Not the way Choose Rich Nick did it, you know.
yeah,
With
yeah.
but no, it's
I
fun. Just
honestly
pop
don't
into the
even know
chat
how.
randomly.
I don't even know how Kobe decided to randomly post that and make that story.
That
Ugh,
was pretty funny.
yeah, dude. There was. Honestly.
No, what's even funnier is Haley Welch still hasn't woke up from her slumber from a week
Has
ago.
she posted on anything yet? Any platform?
Um,
I thought that she posted on her Instagram or something the other day.
I think she did her podcast. I don't know. I'm not really following it. How do you spell her name? I know she spells her name kind of dumb, like
Hailey, I think.
no. HAL. Is that what you said?
Oh, maybe it's.
HAL.
I don't know. I thought it's HAI. I don't have it up in front of me. It's something like that.
No, she
There's.
hasn't. No, last tweet, December 4th. Same last tweets. Yeah, she might be cooked.
Bro, you know it's wild? Okay, I didn't realize this. Um, Lander just pointed it out that Squiggles only have 28% unique ownership versus Stonks 44%.
Yeah, we got to get that unique ownership down. Too many, too many Jeets in the holders.
Bro, I actually think at the end of the day, 44%, like it's one of those things that makes it more difficult on the early days, but once things start moving, it's better to have to hire unique ownership, right? Like it's something you still want. That
Yeah, we
means
just need OpenSea.
well, here, think about it this way, bro. The average person in here, between just the people that are in the Citadel, everybody that's in the Citadel has probably like between everybody 50% of the freaking stocks. Right there. And everybody that's in the Citadel is just a diehard. So the average person outside of the Citadel owns one Wonky Stonk, right? Like if you think about it that way, if you just think about one stonk per person, that's thousands of people with one stonk, maybe two, right? Like I'm just saying, but that's a lot of people that have it in their wallet. And if they have just one or two, most of the time people are like, I want to hold on to this shit, right? Like they've held on to it for some reason that is sentimental to them or whatever else. It's I think it's primed right now. I really, really do. A lot of this stuff that made it bullish before makes it bullish now. It's just a matter of time.
I got the numbers right in front of me. What is it? There's 3,800 holders. 71% of them only have one. and it's 18% that has 2 to 3. So there's really not a high concentration. Like I don't think the Citadel has like 2% of them. Oh, no, we have more than that, but it's like probably around like 10%, like tops.
No, Kaleo has over 2% of the fucking Wonky Stonks. So does Lumber. Lumber got like 3%. That's like
Shoot.
5% right there.
What is, let's see, if you include LedgArt wallet plus mine, what are we looking at? I mean, oh yeah, shoot, it is
Oh,
about 3%. So yeah, I have about 3% of them.
and I told the Bashos yesterday, because yeah, we were reminiscing on the 100 low Pengu 9x9 trade, at like a 0.61 ETH average cost. And then I brought up yesterday, I was like, filling on stonks before all-time highs will rival the 9x9 trade. I don't think they're believing me yet, but
No, it'll happen, man. I truly do believe it. It's crazy. I mean, it's always crazy though until it isn't,
right.
right? Like that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, man, people are going it's anything. Like when I first started talking about the Penguins, they would like the majority of crypto Twitter said that I was crazy and that I was stupid and that I was talking about a rugged project and all of these other things, right? But like had a lot of conviction in it, played out, right? Now the average person on crypto Twitter just simps to them. So it's like one of those things where the art became a lot better and they became a lot more desirable as things started to move. So I think it's about having the vision early on. Same with punks. Punks at the end of the day, bro, if you really look at it, it's like it's a pixelated freaking person. Like why would it have intrinsic value? I think they're badass. But to the average person, if you're sitting there trying to explain why it's badass and they didn't know anything about the price of it, do you really think that like they're going to say this is the coolest picture that I've ever seen? No. Right? Like it just is, it's about the price, the history, the narrative. A lot of those things cook in together to derive the value of something. And I really think at the end of the day, songs are, from an art perspective, I think that it does rival something like the Squiggles. I actually, I love the Squiggles, but this is biased. I think the Stonks are more unique than the Squiggles.
Stonks are better than the Squiggles, for sure.
Yeah, and again, I love Squiggles, but at the end of the day, like Stonks, I think truly are more unique. You look at the depth of the different variety and the traits, and you look at what and who it resonates with. I really, and again, the only thing that it doesn't have versus it is it's slightly younger, right? But still, at this point in time, you're talking about something. If an NFT project was born in 2021, it really is an artifact at this point, right? It really is. So October 2021, like it's got the OG status, it's got the brand recognition, it's got the visibility. It's just a matter of time, I think, before everything else really picks up together. The NFT market's starting to move right now. Like it'll happen. And I've sat here where stonks are 0.05 ETH, where they're 0.03 ETH, where they're zero point 0.3 and zero point 0.4 ETH. And like my vision is still the same. And at the end of the day, we're still cooking in the background. Like, there's some things that Hondo and I that we want to do, that we've been working on that I really want to wait, to implement and kind of push out there for the right timing. Um, but it's something again, like, I really believe at the end of the day, one of my things is let the art really drive the value first, and you build that core community based on that, nothing else, no promises, just for the sake of it. And when you do drop something, it's a surprise, right? Like you're not using the narrative, you're not using promises to drive a narrative, right? Like you just introduce something and catch people. Like Anyway, it's
Bro,
I
there are millions of people that stare at charts all day and they don't own a JPEG of one.
doesn't make sense.
That that is who's going to be buying the bags. They will soon own. Well, there will only be less than probably 7,000 because I'm assuming there's probably 2,000 stonks that are locked forever that will probably never move. So that there can only I'd say there'd be a max of 7,400 holders ever at the very pico top when stonks are at like 50 ETH per stonk in a bearish case. Max 7,400 holders.
Yeah, I wanna say some stuff real quick, dude.
Yeah.
I
So
am
again, right now,
fucking jacked
44% unique
up,
ownership
Kaleo. I'm sorry
for the
for
floor
cutting you off,
price
bro.
that stonks are for the type of collection that it is. I think is really difficult to achieve in and of itself.
Yo, Kaleo, hold up, man. Let me get the stage here for a
So yeah,
second,
man,
okay?
I
I don't think
really
he
I
can
don't know
hear
if he can
you.
hear
Yo,
you.
how is he not
I don't.
hearing me? Tell him to stop. Mute him,
wait,
Rooster.
Rooster, can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you. You and Pickard, I don't think can hear each other. Pickard, you might have to jump
All right,
Oh
yo,
yeah,
down
let me
Pickard,
and
I
jump
can't
come
hear
down
back
and
you at
come
up.
right
all.
back up. All right.
Yeah. He was getting hype over here, and you just
Okay, now I see why everybody's laughing. I couldn't hear a word that he was saying. I thought it's just been silent. So my bad. My bad.
Kaleo, can you hear me? Fuck. Yeah,
I
you
can
can
hear
hear
you
me,
now.
right? Dude, I was saying I am jacked up, baby. I am fired up on the crypto space here. Bitcoin trading over 100,000 American dollars. One punky penguin trading over 100,000 American dollars. Let's fucking go, baby.
Bro, so you're telling me you were bringing that energy and I just started randomly talking over you?
Yeah. Dude, I'm fucking jacked up, dude. I'm sitting here thinking, bro, it is not even 2025 yet. There's a lot of growth, dude. You know, like I think, one of the I was trying to cut in when you were talking about, the narrative around some of these collections, dude. And you put out a tweet the other day saying, like we define the narrative, dude. That shit hit hard so damn. I might have fucked up how I said that. I'm sorry, but you get what I'm saying. Like it is real, dude. Like all the people here who were in this space, just grinding, whether they've been here for 10 years, 3 years, 5 years, like everything. That's one of the most attractive things about crypto for me is like as a participant, you get to define the culture and the value of this space, right? Like I was trying to explain NFTs to one of my cousins today because like he's kind of starting to dabble in crypto, and I texted him. I said, "Yeah, dude, honestly, I think NFTs present some of the highest upside." And he's like, "I don't get it. Like, why would you just want to own something that you can control and save?" And I said a lot of the same stuff that you said today, where it's like, dude, one, you're dealing with like a native space where, if you make a lot of money trading, like you probably do want to roll it into stuff that like really hits home with you, right? And you have a connection to. It's like it is a digital flex, right? I don't know, man. I'm like starting to ramble a little bit, but I texted Crow like a few weeks ago, dude, and I was like, bro, I can feel it in my bones that an NFT run is coming here shortly. And kind of even, like this was another thing that kind of rang in my head while you were talking. Like I'm in ordinals too, and I'm super bullish on them. But like when I was thinking here the last few months, I was like, dude, I kind of think it's only right that ETH NFTs melt faces first because it's like they do have that lore that's kind of been developed here the last few years, right? Like I think some of the ordinal stuff will pump eventually, but it's like that story is kind of still being written. Like I'm sure it's heading in the right direction, but like send fucking ETH with haste.
dude, the hate rally is going to be absolutely fucking ridiculous on the ETH NFTs. I mean, it's already started a little bit with the pudgies, just eclipsing over a Bitcoin, but yeah, the hate rally is going to be absolutely insane, and I'm just going to sit back and be content and probably just smile, and then play some blackjack with the boys.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, the cool thing too, if you really look at cyclically where we are, i- if and when things move the way we think they will, imagine just being on these spaces. I mean, pudgies are already experiencing it, right, Al? Where you're on here and you're like a lot of the pudgy holders that you know that you're boys with, they got in at 1.5, 2.5 ETH and a dream. And Yakimit's been around long enough, he's seen 0.25 and a dream. And you're sitting there 25 plus ETH now. Just the vibes are insane. And like I really think there's gonna be a day, and I think that's the thing, man. If you don't have somebody that's a founder that believes this, then like why should you ever believe it? But I do see a time where, Stonks can be a double digit ETH type project. Like I really, when you look at the history, when you look at everything else, it just makes sense to me. And it may be crazy, but like, man, I th- I'm serious when I say it. I don't care the shit that people give me if I ever do get any for, talking about them. Because again, when you look at it, when your project is something where it's like 0.15 ETH, right? You're going to get flack at times for talking about an NFT project 0.15 ETH. Doesn't matter if it's yours or not. Like there's going to be a time where nobody gives flack, right? There it'll be the opposite. People will simp toward the stocks and they will simp toward talking about it. And like and it's more of a passion thing than anybody else. I've told people time and time again, I've spent way more of my own capital towards stonks and stock purchases and giveaways and everything else than I have ever made on it. Right? Like it is more about the community and believing in the art and believing in everything else around it and things that can be built on it later on than it is about this, oh, Kaleo, you're making X amount off it. No, it's like I believe in the community, I believe in the art, and like when I bring something into the world, like I want to see it succeed. And it is pure conviction, whether it's, you know, months, years, decades, whatever it is, man, like I think that stonks will be a historical thing 30 years from now, right? Like and I don't think that a lot of people can really think down that far, but I mean that's the thing about art. Like art transcends
I
time.
can think down that far. I'm gonna be like, wow, dang, that's crazy. These songs is worth over one Berkshire Hathaway. I'm like, a JPEG of a chart is worth more than the most expensive chart on the stocks. Wow. Yeah, I can see 30 years in the future, Claire. Don't you worry.
No, but I mean that's truly the way I think about it through all of this. It's why I've never been in a hurry to ever release anything where it's like I want to drive a community because I think at the end of the day, your community is your most valuable asset. So my belief has been building a community purely based around the vibes and the art. And it's like if you can do that and do it successfully without having to promise anything else, man, like you have built something so cultishly strong that you can do literally anything, right? Like when everybody else is FOMOing into it, when you've got that core, you're unstoppable.
I'm gonna
The
ride with you,
chart
Cleo.
is the art.
The chart is the art.
The
Uh,
energy that you give off is just like that is what's contagious. That's what makes people like myself want to join this community. Like want to be into it more. It's just like, as they say, the vibes are immaculate. How could we not want to be here? Numbers transcend language. It's universal and it's loved and it's beautiful. And people like, as you mentioned, Yakamit, who amazingly add these other JPEGs, bring that community collaboration, and it just, oof, it's good. It's good.
I'm now convinced BTC art is an ALX alt. I don't know if that's just
Maybe.
me, but they sound pretty similar. They're both the peen guy in the chat.
What? Who is
Uh,
that? God forbid.
yeah, there's another peen dude in
Bro,
there.
how did I not know this? Whenever AL, you weren't there, whenever I brought up the story of us meeting, at Basel, but Rooster was like, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry you had to meet him. That's one of the guys in the chat that I don't know if I want to meet based on that." And he's like, obviously joking around, but I had no idea what the context of this was because he brought up, he's like, "Yeah, him and then BTC Art and BTC Art's NFT project are the Dino Dicks, right?" So it's like, I
Noted.
was like,
Definitely checking
what
those
is,
out.
yeah. So I've apparently missed all this stuff.
Yeah, when I met you, I had a bag of dicks actually. But I was like, I just saw the Stonk shirt, and it's like, oh my god, who is this? It's Stonks. Yeah, but I brought like 200 to 250 3D printed beans to Basel just to hand it out, because it's ingrained in the culture.
Oh my
And
god.
it's like when someone gets handed that, you can't not laugh and just smile. You're like, what is this? It's a cute thing, kind of, I guess.
Are they not the same
So
person? This is what I'm saying. Are they now?
Yeah, you sound like them too a little bit. Like you
I
got to
have
come
to
party with us
moderate their
next time.
meetings.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no,
I
no.
have to moderate their
ALX is
meetings.
like Crow and BTC art had a baby. And it's ALX. It's
love
Al.
it.
Like, I'm just saying. It's Crow and BTC art had a baby. And like all of a sudden, this beautiful penguin mustache man, and he does have a mustache in real life too, named
Hmm.
Al, came to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to hit
representing those European vibes.
the PCI. We go down the beach for 420. You got to come through for that party. Bring the bag.
I
Okay.
mean,
Bring the bag.
My
wherever. Oh,
my
it
one
sounds like another
condition for
500
this
of them.
year's
So
thing,
yeah,
one condition for this year's trip, we got to plan another one. Gotta do it around. I gotta plan it to where I don't miss another one of my church's men's retreat because, bro, y'all have no idea how much FOMO I had for not being there too. It's like two amazing things. One of my favorite weekends of the year from just a pure competitive sports things where I feel like as an old man can get out there, still run around, do whatever for the
Dude,
entire week. It gets we gotta just
we
I gotta get
saw
the
when you
schedule on that.
were intently watching competitive cornhole at like 1 o'clock in the morning at the bar. We we understand your competitive side.
Again, another reason why I will never let the stocks freaking die because I believe with everything in me. There is like I got that dog in me, man. I got that dog in me, and that dog is never gonna let go of the idea and the belief that the stocks are a blue chip project, right? Like I will stake my name on it, and it is what it is.
some of the most competitive people I know, especially with sports, are young life leaders. I swear to God, like my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they're in that, and it's not fun playing fantasy against them. But I mean, it
There's a
is.
reason I quit fantasy too, Al.
It's. I mean, it's definitely fun. They're amazing at sports. The kids are great at sports, and yeah. I mean, I guess it's a young life thing, right? Like faith and conviction, and just love
Well,
it.
hey, you have to have energy to be able to keep up with the kids. So it's
Yeah.
it's not easy.
No, it's mental fortitude, and of course physical. Yeah.
Though I will admit, Rooster, I stepped on the scale for the first time in a few weeks. Put back on about 5 pounds over the course of the past month, like month and a half. So, I feel like it's my little holidays bump. I looked at the trend last year, kind of similar thing happened. So gotta get back on the grind.
Bro, it's a fucking bull market. Like, who cares about the weight at the moment? Fuck
I do.
that.
I do. I'm not getting fat this bull market. I'm determined. I'm gonna keep losing weight. I'm gonna like the abs
You're
will
like a
come.
high school girl, dude.
What's that?
You're like a high school girl. Stop stepping on the scale. Like
No,
you're getting big. You're putting muscle on. Come on.
no. I am going to be shredded, Crow. That is another thing I'm determined. Like more than anything else, it's not just about the fact I want to be shredded. It's I want to be at my peak athleticism I can possibly be for a mid 30s-year-old man. Right? So that's it. That's it. Like, I want to be able to run around and do stuff into my freaking 50s, 60s, whatever. I want to be active my entire life. It recharges me. So the healthier that I can be now, like the more sustainable that is down the road.
You're 100% right. Good on you. You're inspiring me. I'm stretching it out right now.
I'm inspired, but I'm still sticking with dad bods and gray sweatpants season. You know, that's the life I'm leaving.
What do you mean by stretching it out? Actually, never mind. I don't want to know. Let's get back to the stonks, baby. Apparently, there's a wave rider on the floor as well.
Okay, so what you're telling me, we've got a wave rider. Like, this is honestly probably the best floor that I've ever seen from a perspective of what's on it. You're talking about a wave rider. One of the ribbons just got picked up. But you've still got 3 ribbons, an itchy, a wave rider, a wonky gradient, and then 3 wonky themed area charts. Like, if you're part of the community, you know,
Bruh.
just like these were all listed for reference. I'm looking through it. These were all listed at 2 to 3x floor price, but at the price of what floor was when they were listed. So these are just have been sitting here, and whoever listed them was been too lazy to keep up with what's happening and hasn't really paid attention to the fact that, like, I think the stock's floor has moved to where it is, or I don't see why they would keep them here. So, in my opinion, again, relative to like where the average usually is for these type of traits, they're free right now. So, I mean, I'm tempted to like put some ETH and just sweep a few of these to add to my collection.
Yeah,
I
someone's gonna
might do it.
ruin someone's day. At least whenever they see that they have sold their stonks, they're probably going to be pretty upset because at the point they probably notice, we'll probably be eclipsing 0.25. And you're 100% right about the closer we get to all-time highs, the amount of intensity of the FOMO is going to get in because between me, you, everybody else shilling the stonks, there's not really an excuse for you not to own one at the point. So you probably have thought about it. And, the volume's not really there, yada, yada, yada. And then you're going to be like, oh shit, I could have swept 20 of these at 0.05 and I didn't. And now they're half an ETH a piece, just eclipsed all time high with volume. What's going on now? And then more FOMO is going to pour in. It's going to be glorious.
Wait, I see the legend B-Ways down there. I got to get him up here, or at least try to. Knowing B-Ways, though, he's probably like at some club in Miami right now with some
B-Ways is
beautiful women
probably with,
around
yeah,
him.
like
Oh, he
4 or 5
immediately
of
left as
them.
soon as
Yeah,
I started
yeah,
calling him out on it.
he's definitely in the club with like 4 or 5 Southern American baddies.
Bro, the fact that he found that one girl like on his flight in Denver and just, ended up getting her to hang out all weekend while we were there for ETH Denver, and she was beautiful is like it's insane to me. That's uh and
Who is B-Ways,
I don't
Really?
know him. I don't know.
Yeah,
This
just
space doesn't know him.
Yeah.
just spending time with him is because of the stonks. The first time in Miami, like that alone was worth the price of admission into the community. I got like 12 hours of just me and him just shooting the shit. Hey, this is beautiful. So I appreciate you, Kaleo. Really.
Bro, talking about people that are going to be 100K plus influencer accounts when the bull market really kicks off, B-Ways is guaranteed. Like, B-Ways is he's already kind of making himself into a name, but he's going to be a big name whenever, you get really all NFTs, right? He's exposed to Sol, he's exposed to ordinals, he's exposed to ETH NFTs, he's exposed to all the above.
B-Ways owns everything, and he doesn't sell.
The
But who
only
is
thing the
B-Ways?
B-Ways doesn't really own that I know of are the Penguins. Tried to show him really hard on the Penguins, never would happen.
There was a there was a point I know B-Ways had some pudgy assets. I'm not
He
sure.
still probably has some pudgy assets. He
Yeah.
still probably
He just
does.
made he just made a tweet about it.
He
Like
just doesn't own
he
multiple
like
percent
he
of it.
doubled up.
Oh, he's
He
back.
doesn't have it anymore. Like he just made a tweet about it. He bought a couple, doubled it years ago, and sold it, and hasn't been able to bring himself back to buying any. But he's happy for everybody.
B-Ways, come up on stage, buddy.
Dude, I hate myself. The worst type of texts. Ugh. Like, I just got a text from my brother. Of course, in October, we're looking through his crypto shit. And he asked me, he's like, I've got this link, I've got this XRP, and I've got this Litecoin. I kid you not, I'm listing every single thing that he brought up. Litecoin, Link, XRP, and XLM. I
So
told him
all the boomer coins that
that have
skyrocketed.
ripped. Yeah, no, I got him to sell them all for Sol. So sold them all for Sol at the peak. And Sol has been down slightly since he did that. And all those coins have done like a 10x.
Oh,
So
wait, so he didn't sell at the peak?
he sold those right before they pumped and bought
Oh
Sol at
man.
its peak. He just texted me that
Oh,
he'd be up. He's like, he'd be up about 100K right now had he not done that.
brutal transition. You know, it happens to the best of us. You live, you learn.
Yeah. So, RIP.
B-Ways, welcome up.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I missed the start of the space. Just late wake up in somewhere in Asia. Yeah, no, all good here, man. And I just noticed the stonks at 0.15, so that's nice to see. It's been a while since we've been there, right? It's like it must have been a year since we tried that level. So that's cool. The art looks better again. Actually, irrespective of price, I was thinking about this recently. Like, I think as the art ages, it's been 3 years and whatever, 3 years and 2 months, right? The longer it's there and the longer it stays unique, the better it gets, in my opinion. So I'm actually quite surprised that there has been no clear duplication efforts, or there are a few chart art things, collections on different chains, but nothing quite with the same vibe. To be honest, most others are a little bit, a little bit boring in a way, like kind of more monochrome, etc. So yeah, I think both the time and the price are really improving the art here. So it's nice to see. I cannot believe there's an Ichi on the floor, by the way. That's insane.
Bro, that's what I brought up. Like the
Not
floor
only
right
an Ichi
now.
B-Ways. Yeah, listen to this floor.
Well, one of
Yeah.
the ribbons just got sold. There's still 3 ribbons on the floor. There's an itchy. There's the, just a regular wonky gradient, which usually doesn't last long on the floor. And then there are 3, count them, 3 wonky themed area charts, which are like the most popular for PFP mashups that are out there. All these things were listed
And a
about,
wave rider.
and a wave rider. And when you look at and wave rider's the 4th rarest nickname, which is like the price action trait. When you look at when all these were listed, they were listed about 2 to 3x the floor price at the time of listing, right? Like what the floor price was then. So I think whoever it was not expecting them to sell at floor. And I think they've just left it and, kind of lazily haven't checked the price and just let it ride. Like, so it's a steal relative to where they are.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those are steals. I think Ichi's when the floor, it should be at least 2.5 times, 3 times floor, right? Or 2 times at least. At least in my recollection. So that's pretty crazy. I don't know how many are there. It's like 140 or something. Anyway, not
Something
many.
like this. Let's see. There, as far as Ichis, we're looking at. Okay, now Ichis have 253, but at the time,
Okay.
the last time that we were around this, Ichis were selling for about point 0.3 to point 0.4 around this, like the last time that we were up here, right? And you're looking at, as far as where ribbons are, ribbons probably, if the floor is 0.15, the average ribbon probably 0.19, 0.2, like, a little premium. Same with the area gradients. You're probably looking at like, I really think with those, as much as they're not from a rarity perspective put up there as much, those are probably looking like low point two relative to where it is now.
Just the wonky themes themselves used to sell for like 2x the floor.
Depending on the one, right? Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. From an aesthetic perspective, I think a lot of those are. So again, like, and then as far as the nickname traits, a lot of the time that adds the most to rarity. So a wave rider being down there, they're actually, that's why wave riders are so crazy rare. You're looking for wave rider. They're only 105. So
Oh,
yeah. What was the point two, 0.19 that just sold? Let's see that.
a ribbon.
So yeah, a ribbon with what? Is there a trade or something else on here that I'm not a trade. I mean, a nickname,
The
just a
trade is
regular
the
wonky.
ribbon.
I'm like, so yeah, somebody just picked that and was like, F these ribbons on the floor. I like this one better. So there you
Bro,
go. Point.
you know who I started tweet who start I saw started tweeting and who used to love ribbons? Toby. Toby's
Toby?
tweeting
Toby, yeah.
again. Yep, he still holds his penguin all the way from when Yakima made him buy, as he did try to get everybody to, but not we all, many people did, but anywho's, yeah, Toby, I see him tweeting again. He used to love ribbons.
Bullish. I think he's probably still the leading messenger in the Discord.
Oh, he's for
He had
sure
like
the leading
40,000
messenger in the
messages or so.
Discord, especially because previously, for the past year, all the marketplaces pointed to a scam Discord and almost got many apologies in that process.
Okay, thank God, Discord shit's finally taken care of.
Yes,
So,
finally, yes.
honest, I won't even
Hey,
lie though, Rooster, for a period of time, like back whenever we first tried it, right? OpenSea wasn't letting you change. And here's the issue. So OpenSea wasn't letting you change the Twitter link or the Discord link. They'd let you change a lot of other things. For some reason, the Discord update was broken. So we couldn't do it. And then Discord vanity links is a thing that like they basically just ignore. And then when you look at the like Blur and Magic Eden and everything else, they all populate based on the OpenSea info, which I think is kind of dumb. I think that, if they're really trying to establish themselves as what they are, I think you should be able to click a box as a collection and update it from that. But, if you're really trying to be the marketplace, like make it editable on your own thing. So, yeah, but that's how it worked. So and then I'd kind of just forgotten about it for a while because the market had been so calm and the majority of people that are in the stock, everybody in the stocks community knew like just don't pay attention to that shit, right? So, but then as it moved and you reminded me of that, I was like, holy shit, we've got to do this right now and do whatever it takes to do it right now because there are going to be a lot of new people that are entering this and cannot have that out there. So, yeah.
yeah, agreed. Dude, I have quite not to open old wounds here because I know you just tweeted about the FTX thing as well with in relation to penguins and as others said, like I fumbled my penguins sadly. I bought a few before. I think at the time it was like discussion. It was January 2022, right? It was discussion that the cat break guy, I forgot his name, that he was going to take over the penguins, and then ultimately Luca did it, right? A couple of weeks later, and then yeah, fumbled them for like 3x or something. So another generational wealth opportunity missed. But so it goes. But to the point of your wounds on the FTX side, do you know if we're ever going to get our stonks back? I think I still have like a dozen stonks over there. I wonder if they're going to be released at some point. Otherwise, it's deflationary supply, which is fine.
So when I have no connections now with that group, right? Like the guy that I had that was working with them on it told me at the time that he had a feeling by I don't know, man. What he told me at the time was whenever everything comes back, should be able to reclaim it but I have a feeling I don't know if that's what it's going to be anymore. After I saw the block sale of the apes, like I almost wonder. I need to figure out how to get a hold of those guys and figure out, man. That's really what it comes down to, because I don't know how they went about any type of claims for NFTs in general. For the average person that had NFTs that were on there, like what exactly they were valuing for the claim price of those, right? Because they're paying out all the other assets, and if they're not touching the NFTs, it's kind of bullshit,
I wonder
right?
if there's any
So
like penguins and shit and apes on there.
there are some. But the apes were all sold in a block sale earlier this year. So I
Damn,
forget who
Yakumet
ended
just
up.
bought the Ichi on the floor. Shout out Yakumet.
What a legend. So now, I mean, to that
Chad.
point though, B-Ways, like I I have not checked up on it in a while, and I've got a good amount of stonks on there also. So I will do what I can to try to chase down that route and just see what the heck's happening with that right now, because I honestly I think that if I had to guess right now, that's been like the last thing, knowing the boomer legal counsel that's working there, that they've even thought of. Right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
so I hope and pray that we can get that. Um, but my honest right now, I have zero clue.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not counting on it. By the way, I'm not counting on it. It doesn't matter for me
but it's
personally. But
worth it.
maybe,
It's worth it to look into right now.
yeah.
So
And otherwise, the collection is even smaller than people might think. It's probably 100 on there, or 150 or something. And also might be worth putting in some bids in case the boomer liquidator goes and dumps them into bids. Somehow appropriates the property. And there's some good ones there. So if you put in some bids, you never know. You never know. One day they drop in like a guppy or something. Not a crazy idea.
Yeah, I have seen a guppy dropped into a bid for 0.13. Um, so it is possible.
well, the other thing with it too, that as I was looking through trying to find all the FTX stonks, they're on individual wallets, right? Like they are not all tied to one wallet. So there's not one massive wallet that has all the FTX stonks. Each individual person had their own unique ETH deposit address with FTX, and they're just sitting there. So I really half wonder, like, that's why I don't even know if they have them, or I don't even know if the legal counsel that's left, right? Like the guy that I was connected with, he knew they were there, right? But like, I honestly bet there's a decent chance the legal counsel that's looking through this has no idea, because when you look at the average, like the boomers that are going to be scraping through the data on a bunch of these wallets, they'll look through and they'll see, okay, here's just some random listed NFT, but they're looking for like what's the dollar value that's showing up on Etherscan for the wallets, and that's the type of stuff that they're sitting around moving. So again, if I really had to guess with where it is right now, I honestly probably think it's a little bit forgotten about. So, um, yeah, I really want to try to chase down that rabbit hole, figure out who to contact, and try to see what's going on with that, like the current status, because it's been something that's just kind of slipped my mind for a while.
Man, they baited us so hard. They said, "Hey, we'll put a Wonky Stonk up in the FTX arena if you put it on our platform," and then
Dude, I remember
fucking
that. That's
shut that
that was
shit
hilarious.
down. They baited us so hard.
It would have been
No,
amazing, by the
good
way.
times though. That's
And then
lore. That's good lore.
they immediately were like, "Oh, actually, yeah, sorry, no, the arena," because the market had started to dip at this point. They're like, "Actually, yeah, we're not going to put any NFTs up. So don't worry though. Like, we're not just rugging you, we're rugging everybody else too. So yeah, that's not going to
We
happen."
should have we should have known then, man. We should have known then.
Yeah,
We really
the
should have.
signs were
Mine.
clear. The signs
The
were
wonky
clear.
canary in the coal mine, man. Good times. That was good.
Those were good times. No, there's lots of lore behind the songs. Some really really good lore, and I'm always here for all of it.
661,
Yep.
which I did get the cousin to 661 when I did my little sweep yesterday.
Oh, you mean the catfish 661?
Yeah,
The the what shows up after your Tinder date 661?
yeah, exactly. So
Oh god, I saw that joke yesterday, Larry's. Yeah, 661 is legendary. The top three rarest ones are kind of legendary, right? Because well, I guess they're still owned by, was it King Degen?
King Degen.
Not
No,
sure.
that's the thing. King Degen still has the three rarest stock. He doesn't have all the floors that he had, right? But he's still got the three rarest stonks in the collection. So
It's gonna be a legendary trade one day.
it will be. I think that eventually it'll pay off for all the wash trading to whatever else. When I say wash trading, he would like buy 100 stonks and be like, I'm gonna like dump 20 and then buy this really rare one or whatever. It was just like the craziest shit that I'd ever seen in my life. But he secured them, and I think I kind of agree with you where it's like when the stock it's like whenever Kinky Bedbugs paid 420 ETH for the left facing ping, right? Everybody laughed at him at the time. They said, "Man, that's just stupid. Who would ever do that?" And I really think you look. What do you guys think that left facing ping would go for right now? Like open market, if it were just auction. So
I don't know, but my honest opinion is I think the dollar value wise, he would have gotten more just sweeping or
I
putting up
get
a.
that. I get that, but like, and it'd be more liquid. You'd be able to sell part of it. I get all of these things, but what do you think the dollar value slash the ETH value of that ping would go for right now?
I'd say $10 million.
I was kind of thinking the same number. I really think it's a $10 million at this point PFP.
Yeah, it's possible. A couple thousand ETH. Not crazy. Especially with the deals they can do with it, etc. Right? The licensing deals and so on. Yeah, and it's clearly unique. So yeah, very possible. He's probably not selling it anyway, right? So
No, I don't think he is. Again, I'm just bringing up complete hypothetical. Like, what do you think? A lot of people said there's no way he ever possibly wins this. Ooh, that was a sick itchy sale that just happened. That one happened at 0.24.
I don't know. Didn't he buy it with a group of people? Isn't he with like didn't they do it as like a group thing between like four or
Yeah, he
five
made it
people?
sound like it was a group, but I'm not sure exactly how that all works with him. But I
Yeah,
think that it is a group behind it. He
yeah.
had
So
somehow
I mean,
convinced
it
a group.
it may go to Sotheby's. You know, it's not impossible. I'm wondering. I'm wondering how the Pengu airdrop is going to get handled. There's a fat stimmy coming to the NFT space here pretty soon, and that might be, the breakout candle for the NFT market. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's coming, right? And there are going to be more stimmies like that. I think that a project right now is dumb if they're not looking into synergistic ways to be able to do some type of token. Um, right? If that hasn't been something that's already been done or, being talked about, it just doesn't. I think it's about the way that you do it that is important. And Pudgies, I think, have timed it really well with momentum and I think still being early to the meta, but like they have the ability to be early because they have been leading the charge, right? I think that's a huge part of it. They had to be in that pole position to really be able to kind of set the precedent and make it a little bit easier to open up. But I mean, Milady, again, that's huge. They were up there near the pole position, made complete sense. I think eventually, though, some of these other projects that have already launched coins, the coins are going to see a surge. Holders that have been staking, for instance, when you're talking about things like, the plague and pixel and all this other stuff that have been staking and earning those tokens will have received something for that. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, okay, what's the next step? What's the next upside plan? Yeah, like I think you kind of ask yourself that with a lot of collections. Like, what are the next synergies that really come from this? But actually, at the end of the day, screw everything I just said. It's all about the vibes. So never mind. I think if the vibes are good, you're gonna win. If they're not, you're not. It's that simple.
Man, that's the realest thing I think I've heard since I joined the space.
What did we
Welcome
do
up,
wrong?
man.
What's up, man? What's up? Hey, you're talking about, I guess, Pudgies are dropping a token or something. Like, I'm not too in tune, or I don't know much about the Pudgy Penguins. I know they got Walmart toys. I saw Doodles were doing McDonald's things. This is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I love this stuff because it's like NFTs in real life, right? Like where you're seeing like just regular people interact with things that like started from NFT, and I think that's neat. But I don't know this. Are they launching a coin? Are the Pudgies launching a coin?
Yeah,
Is
man,
that what I'm
they're
missing?
launching Pingu. So Pingu's going to be a huge stimulus to the entire market. A little bit of the allo, I think a small percentage of it is going to go to outside collections. Um, so the majority of it goes to the Pingu community itself. But again, it's going to be a big stimmy. A lot of people are, it's going to be a multi-billion-dollar meme coin right off the bat. It will be, right? Like people are talking about it.
Oh man, where have I heard? Where have I seen that?
So it's going to happen.
Is there like more information that I can look into this?
Hashtag
Like,
Pingu.
Yeah, just I mean,
just
just
okay,
go into the Pudgy Penguins Twitter. They kind of mapped out the tokenomics and everything. I mean, you know,
like eligible collections or something. You said there's like, are they penalizing bored apes or type thing? Like,
no, no,
But
no
Bored Apes
outside
are not elite
communities have.
chads in their group. They're not elite chads.
No, yeah. I mean, they're Pudgies are so for the ETH side. If you're not, staying in tune with the market, they've been leading NFTs on the ETH side for quite some time now. You got one Pudgy Penguin is worth over 1 Bitcoin, um, and obviously the top collection outside of punks on ETH as well. Flipboard apes. They're kind of doing two things. So Luca's heading abstract, which is going to be, its own blockchain. And then outside of that, they're launching the Pengu, ecosystem meme coin on Solana before the end of the year.
okay, now I'm super interested.
Yeah. And like crunching numbers, I think it's roughly 25 point something percent of the coin going to the community. So Pudgy Penguins, Lil Pudgies, the Rogs, and their Soulbound tokens. Um, and then people were crunching numbers at billion fully fully diluted. They're set to receive a fat stimulus. Like for bigs,
Yeah,
close 50 to 100K. For littles, like 10K per little. And however they end up working it out, just based on current floor price ratios. Those were rough
or
guesstimates.
snapshots already taken type shit, or like how's like I guess like
No,
that's what I'm
no,
asking. Like,
there's no snapshots. So at the time of the claim, if there's a Pudgy for sale, you can buy that Pudgy and claim the airdrop. Um,
oh, hold on, so now like okay, so this could create like an issue, right? Like, so what if somebody like claims right away and then lists the Pudgy well below floor, and people are like, oh, this is the deal, and then they get it, and it's like, oh, your coins have already been claimed. Boom, boom, ba down.
yeah, I
Wow.
mean,
But
that's for one, that's a risk as a buyer. that
Rad Bro went through this early on because there was like a bunch of rad tokens that were like your Rad Bro was earning one rad token every day. All these things, but like
they'll
yeah,
probably have a
they're
checker like on the website,
dude.
or
I bet 10x could create this like in a second.
yeah,
But
I bet
yeah,
they've
just
already
put
thought
this
about it.
contract address in this. Yeah, no, that's smart though.
Yeah,
You have
anything.
to
Luca's
be worried
probably
about
already
that.
way 10 steps ahead of
Oh
everything.
wait, Lucas, like Lucas, like
No,
Giga Chad Lucas. Oh my God, you see him last night? Holy shit! Did y'all watch that stream?
I don't know if I'm just
You're
high
talking
or
about
Lucas who?
Lucas and Charlotte Fang and Razmir. Like y'all didn't see that stream?
Oh no, you're
bro.
talking about like
What?
Schizo Lucas, like the Remilio slash the lady slash whatever
Yeah,
crew.
Ox.fun Lucas.
I'm
Is there
so
another
interested to
Lucas?
see what this dude's timeline is. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I know
I
what
would love
Lucas you're
to.
talking
It's
about. I know what
like
Lucas you're talking about.
Milady. Like
Yeah, I
I
know
would
what
love to
Lucas
see
yeah,
you're
what
talking
this
about.
dude's
Schizo
timeline is
Freak.
like 30
Schizo
minutes.
Freak is his handle, I think. But it's Lukas Lucas. Like Ox Fun guy. I don't know. I thought that was a Lucas. I don't know the other. I don't know
How
the
far
other
away is the
Lucas.
can of Galaxy Gas?
Galaxy Gas. The fuck is that?
Okay, that's good answer. Good answer.
Okay, so wait, tell us
Galaxy
about the
Gas.
streams. Tell us about the stream.
No, just well, first off, I thought Lucas was like a fat piece of shit, and it turns out he's like an ultra swole Giga Chad. And uh, Razmir was like, "Wait, what? I thought you were into." And he's like, yeah, this is what we look like." And it was just like such an amazing like clip. And this was only the start of it. It went on for like three hours. Uh, Charlotte dove deep into like Mia, Cheese World, the whole like premise behind the delay on the cult airdrop. Like this whole thing has been like strategically planned. And if you worried about it, it was obvious. And it's all about like on-chain reputation. Like you can verify everything, all your on-chain activity, and like really kind of create an algorithm that shows like farmer versus somebody who's genuinely interested in the ecosystem, and you reward the people those most that are genuinely interested in the ecosystem. And it's kind of a cool, neat metric. There was this whole like Remelia achievement board thing where like you connect to wallets and it's like, oh, you did this, you sold this here, you you stuck around through the delayed Milady launch, you minted these, you bought the dip on Milady 911, like all these different achievements that granted you more allocation or gave you more beetle points, which gave you more coal allocation. It was just all like on-chain reputation type shit. And Remili is the first one that I've seen kind of create this shit that doesn't just reward farmers, because farmers with fat fucking banks can do all kinds of shit. There are people that just played Miladycraft that got a $1,800 airdrop just out of nowhere. People that just bought merch got a $1,800 airdrop out of nowhere. It's crazy, and it's kind of a neat metric that I haven't seen anybody else do, and it's literally changed my life. I found a lady. It changed my life.
Well, congrats, man. Love to hear it. Like that's the thing. And end of the day, that NFT collections, I think, on average, provide more than meme coins, where you hear more of those stories. The communities are more cultish. Like, makes me bullish. T, what's up, man? Welcome up to the stage. Good to have you.
It's been so long that he doesn't know how to use it anymore.
Yeah, I think he's just. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna
What's
get him to talk. Knowing T, I've never heard him talk on a space.
Yeah, T does sign language with the emojis on the space. You kind of just gotta take inferences on what he's doing. He's
What's up,
mute.
family?
He's a little one.
Hey, I recognize that laugh. How you
Man, I
doing?
just have a smile ear to ear right now, just looking at my screen and just
Are you?
seeing
Oh, Matty Palace. Did you
this
win your
family right
PA
now.
competition?
You know what? He did text me tonight, and
Is he talking? I can't hear. Dang it.
Damn, you might have to
Yeah, he's
jump
talking.
down
You
and
want to
jump
drop
back
down,
up.
Matt? Come back
Yeah,
up.
drop down, come back up. I can't hear you. This freaking Twitter spaces suck, man. Go start doing this on the arena.
Hey, dude, you need to talk to Average Andy and figure out some way to like simul stream on both, because that, like, whoever is the first of that is gonna, it's probably some bounty on like Retro
You got me
9000
now,
or something.
Kaleo?
Yeah, I got you, man.
All right, cool.
Welcome up. Good to have you, brother. Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, it's all good, man. I just want to say I love you guys, and just seeing you guys on my screen right now, I got a big ass smile on my face, and watching all of you just win lately and just stay strong as a family, just convicted with each other, has just been a sight to see, man. And from the bottom of my heart, I love every single fucking one of you people so much, man. Wonky Stonks changed my life, man. I'm not even gonna, you know, pussyfoot around with this. Wonky Stonks drew basically a path for me to be where I'm at right now with all of you, with all these connections that I've made. It's just so much more than a stonk, man. It's more than a generative piece of art. It is literally it is literally the car driving us, man. Like, you guys don't realize how important all of this is. Take a step back from it for a while and then come back and observe and just reflect and be a part of this. And it's so beautiful. It's magic what has happened over the past couple of years. And to see where we're at right now, to see where you guys are just showing up every single day for one another, that's family, man. That's what Wonky Stonks has always been about since day one. Just because I was gone for 6 months doesn't mean I was not here with you guys. I've been here with you in spirit, through and through. I love you guys so much. And I just want to say my piece tonight, because it's been a while since I've spoken to all of you. And you guys are my family. And my heart is always with you guys.
My people.
Oh man, I have missed the Matt Palace 80s baby speeches. It fires me up every time, but from like a different level, right? It's just the authenticity of it. You don't get anywhere else. So, man, it really, for those of you who don't know, I really don't believe the Stonks would be where they are right now if it weren't for Matt. You know, we met in Tampa. I was there for a wedding, sat through it. I really didn't have an idea of what was next, right? Like the market had topped out, things were turning around. Stonks were just a free mint drop at first, where it was like, okay, I didn't really have a vision behind anything else. But what he really solidified for me was just the idea of the vision of just, Ken being there with the community. It doesn't have to be anything else. And it's led me to meet some of the best people that I've met in this space, man. So, I miss having you up here, brother. We got to get you on more of these again.
Man, I've been trying to get on a space here for a few weeks, and it just has not aligned with my schedule. And
Bring back
man,
room
I
110.
I'm actually going to be leaving again soon, but I'll still be here if that makes sense. I'm going to be going through a series of surgeries over the next few months. It's probably going to take about 4 months, three back-to-back surgeries. I won't be able to speak, so that's going to be kind of a downfall, me coming up on spaces, but I do want to come and hang out at least a couple more times before that happens, and just share my vibes with you guys, and just be here and support with you guys. You guys have curated a hell of a community over the past few years, man, and it's just an amazement to see and you, Kaleo, actually over the past couple weeks have been talking a lot about, you know your losses, but they're not really losses. They're wins because you reflect and you observe and you go back and you take accountability, but you always maintain that conviction. And that's something that I think you have taught a lot of people in this space. Wonky stonks or not, you have been a leader for conviction, and it has trickled down into this community to stay together. And it's beautiful to witness, man. It's just absolutely beautiful to
I,
leave for the amount of time that I did, to come back and to see you guys even stronger. Man, that's everything, man.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, at the end of the day, reflecting on losses, a few things for me. I really am finally determined for the first time over years that like I'm done with the leverage side of the space. There still is a huge part of me that believes I could make millions, do whatever else with it, and that's always there. But I've just seen on the way up and on the way down with it. And I've had conviction in this for a long time. I just haven't really had the will to accept it. But it just sucks every single bit of my bandwidth, whether it's up or down. And because of that, like I have let it just wash away so many conviction opportunities over the years. And it hasn't been healthy. And not just conviction opportunities, it's taken the bandwidth that otherwise I'd be able to be able to build. Um, so I'm finally, it's like I know that what I do, whatever I put my mind to, then like I'm gonna kill it with it eventually, right? And like I finally
Absolutely.
feel like this just opens up a new layer, and an important part of that is you have like to accept it, you have to share it, right? You can't just hold it close to the chest. You can't act like it never happened. And the best way for it to help others is to share it too. So like I'm not gonna be one of those guys that sits there and pretends like something happened that didn't. I think you be open with it, and like that's step number one to making the change real.
Absolutely, man. And to address that, even further, like uh, being convicted in so many ways, the way you are, but actually realizing, like the term that I've kind of coined this year has been a paramount in my life. It's things that serve your soul, right? Like if you know deep down, like your intuition is telling you. I'm sure you were going through this ups and downs like this with the leverage trading and other aspects of life too. It's like you get this feeling deep down inside. It's like you keep fighting it and you fight it, and then finally you just let it go. You just release it, and you realize, like, holy shit, this is serving my soul for the better good of myself and everybody else around me.
Bro, you wanna like hear this is deep degen stuff that I'll I'm planning on talking about more during whenever I give my, when I sit down and kind of give my story. But I'll share it with the crew because I think it's kind of absolutely hilarious in retrospect. So okay, May of 2022, right? Like made this deal with my ex where I was like, okay, I'm done trading. I'm gonna step away from her for a while, right? Like just mainly though because she made me. It wasn't because it was a decision that I wanted to do. I was like, all right, well, I care about her, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And she made me, but I never really wanted to, right? Like I had this conviction I was still gonna come back and do whatever else. So it wasn't a me thing. And part of that deal, I told her, I was like, all right, I'm going to start going to Gamblers Anonymous. And, that'll be my step to walk away from it. I went to that shit for like 3 months, man. And while I was in there, I have never been around a group of people that have just given up on everything and so lost and hopeless. And I was like, this sucks. And like, one, I don't want to be here. Two, I'm crazy enough to still believe in what I'm doing with this. So like what I would do, I remember telling them, I'm like, hey, I haven't traded in X weeks, and I forget the whole phrase at the beginning, but I'd tell them what I'm doing now, I'm buying pudgy penguins because it's my safe it's my safe thing, right? Like so I would tell them all these NFTs that I'm buying instead of leverage trading. And they would just tell me how crazy I am, and I need to stop everything completely and walk away. And I'm like, y'all are just, I get it. I know there are things I need to walk away from here, but there are other things that I am crazy. Like, I'm crazy enough to believe and see through, and like, F this noise. I'm done with this. So I quit going to it because, again, it was just one of those things. I'm like, but the real thing, again, I knew the leverage side I needed to walk away from, but actually I didn't. Mainly my ex was pushing me toward that. When FTX collapsed in 20, so I really wasn't trading leverage until after FTX collapsed. And then at that point, that's where it's like, okay, shoot, like all of my liquid income, liquid assets, et cetera, are on this platform. The only thing I really have left are these NFTs that I've been stacking. So, right, that's when there was a chunk of that I had to liquidate, right? Like I needed living capital. But then at that point, though, I got tempted and lured back in where it was like, okay, well, now I've got to be able to like have another source of income. So, like, I've got to trade. Volatility's crazy right now. I've got to take advantage of it. So, like, that's where selling the rest of the pudgies and stuff came in. And that's what really got me back deep down the rabbit hole of trading again. That's when I broke up with my ex because she was, I get it. I was crazy. So, like, for all that period, man, past that, I knew throughout all of this that I'm like, I got to step away from the leverage side of it. But in my mind, I had to recreate what I had done in 2021 before I did that. And there was a huge part of me that just always believed that and like has just always stuck to it. I'd tell my friends that I wasn't trading as much. I'd tell all these people that I wasn't. But I'd do it because I knew that's what they wanted me to say. It wasn't because that's what I believed, right? So as of, a few weeks ago when I made that post, I finally like believe it for the first time. And I'm finally ready to just be done with it and let it go from my account, not from anybody else's, right? So I think that's the real difference with where I am right now, right? Like every other time throughout that process, it was somebody else saying, okay, do XYZ. This time, like, it is me, right? So anyway, I'm hyped, man. Like head feels clear, stocks to the moon.
Good, man. Good. Thanks for sharing that too, by the way. Like, I, it's a funny ass story. um, I'll share it too with you. Like, this year has been a tumultuous year of growth, like ups and downs. But at the end of it, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel here. Like, my heart is full of gratitude for every experience that I've had this year, and I've faced certain things this year where I had to sell. I had, my wife and I, we up and just moved from Florida, changed our lives on a whim, just took, a leap of faith, if you will, and just changed our lives. And in order to do that, you have to fund that. So the number one thing that I've always been convicted on, it happens to be Wonky Stonks. So I kept those, every single one, and it's fun to go back and reflect on like where my mind was at, thinking that oh, I'm gonna come into this run. I had so many great positions set. And then having to just say, you know what, I'm going to let this go too right now because my soul is calling me for something else. And I don't really chop that up as a loss, though. What I chop it up as is actually a win for me personally. So, depending on how you view things, on what road you take in this life, I mean, it's all on the upside because we're all in profit, right? We came here with nothing, we leave here with nothing. Everything in the middle is all profit, baby.
Well, bro, that's what I'm saying too. When I made that post earlier, I wanted to reflect and like, share those lessons for other people. So hopefully they have some insight to prevent making the same mistakes. But it's also to say, to let people know, because I think every single person, if you've been in here long enough, you've had position plays that were conviction plays where you're sidelined for one reason or another as they move. And I think it's okay to still sit there and say, man, like, I still support them, right? I want them to win. The coolest thing about those type of posts for me is reading through how many people are pudgy holders because I talked about it, right? Because I was in there. And I think if nothing else, the value of the connections from that community is still awesome. So like I want them. I don't I've lost enough positions doing whatever things that I don't sit there and say that I don't like XYZ coin because I don't have a bag. That's just greedy, selfish, stupid. So
Absolutely.
I want them to win. I want them to send it because I know the community, I know what they've done, and like I'm all for it still. Am I like a massive pudgy holder anymore? No. But you don't have to be a holder of something to support something that's good.
Absolutely, man. And I think you hit the nail on the head with too, like the greed mentality. We get so trapped up in this space. I've been a victim to it several times, and we get in this desensitized mindset, and we don't really have a clear perspective on things sometimes. And to be in a space with a lot of wealth around us, a lot of people winning, a lot of people losing, we have to be strong for our fellow person here, and cheer them on when they win, support them when they're losing, because I think at the end of the day, that's what the essence of all of this connection is anyway. Just have gratitude for it.
Always respect the pump. It's pretty easy. You should.
Respect the pamp.
Bro, and that's one thing that a lot of people forget too. I was the first person to make that video go viral. What's his name? I found
Shit, I
so
didn't know
I
that.
I mean I
I didn't
wasn't
know that.
obviously I'm not what's his name, the guy that made it, but there was a guy that I somehow was scrolling through some stuff. The first video of it on Twitter had like 2 likes, and I somehow stumbled across it and tweeted it out. And that tweet got a few thousand likes. And then from there, people just started saving, copying, and using it. Again, I'm not the guy that actually did it. He's, the guy that recorded it. He made his own. But as far as making it go viral, the clip go viral, I was the one that did that.
Dude, I had no idea that about the history there. That's incredible. Epic video.
I mean, I really okay. That needs to be. Has anybody put that in some type of EDM DJ mix? Because it's such a goaded line.
Yeah, that would be a top signal. So let's maybe wait with that.
For
As long as
real,
it's not
T-Lane.
Randy
Good
Zuckerberg
call.
that's doing it. I mean, I don't know if it depends on who is doing it, whether it's a top signal or not.
Okay, all right. We can work with
Hey,
that.
speaking about winning though, like I mentioned it when I first came up stage, and put a tweet out about it a couple weeks ago. Like, just seeing everybody right now, and just like after the hard fucking grind that just everybody has been through. We all met when when Wonky Stonks minted. That was in 2021, and some people say we're crazy, and some people are crazy, but to see us just go from the trenches to the bottom, and just everybody here just winning, it warms my heart to see my friends just win, man. Fucking keep winning, people.
What's been your biggest win so far
This community.
financially?
This community.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. That's fair. That's fair. I get that. I have no further questions.
We're gonna win so much. We're gonna get tired of winning, right? Dude, it's gonna. I can't wait for the memes, man. Like
I'm gonna
the
come.
political memes. It's gonna be so good. Like, I mean, it's gonna be bad on pump.fun, but I won't participate in that. But it's gonna be so fun. Like after 4 years of just the only memes are like an old man stumbling right on a plane or something. So it's not really that fun. Whereas I think now we're gonna get a lot of good content. So I really look forward to that.
Someone please tag me in the I'm gonna come meme token. Whatever the ticker is, I need to buy it immediately.
Dummies.
No, not that one, but that's probably also a good bit at this point. No, I mean the Trump I'm gonna come line. Because I just see in the bull market when shit just keeps tearing up, that's going to probably be a heavily circulated meme when he's president. You know,
Right. I'm ready
so
to see the stonks memes go viral, like seeing them on mainstream. I think where it's really going to go be hilarious is when mainstream stock traders, right, that just trade equities, that trade that like, Forex, whatever else, start making memes about like the crypto. This is why I don't touch cryptos. Like, this is so stupid. A literal picture of a JPEG of, a chart is worth more than Berkshire Hathaway. Like, I mean, eventually. Um, but like,
Dude, they just talked about it this morning because of fart coin, like, and hot air rises, so that shit just keeps going up, and it's insane. Like, the CEO, like, who's of a hedge fund, was like, I've been trading clients' funds for 20 years, and here is Fartcoin with nearly a $500 million market cap. I don't even know what I'm doing. And like, it was his hand with the intelligent investor, like throwing the book away into the trash. It was beautiful. Like, yes, this is where we're at. This is where we are at. Like, you are either left curve or you are right curve. Midwits are going to lose so hard. You need to be retarded in this market. And this is a new paradigm. Like, this is a new paradigm, dude. We have nation states like bidding who's going to be the Bitcoin capital of the world. This is the super cycle we dreamt of since 2017. This is it, bro.
what's your Bitcoin
This
target
is I
this
mean, this
cycle?
cycle.
The super cycle.
Conservatively, 150. 250 is where I think we're going to go minimal, and I think that like we'll stay above 100,000 from here on out.
I
We have
do think it's
nation states bidding it.
I think it's funny, like taking 6 months off and coming back, and I already thought it was pure degeneracy 6 months ago, and just it was going hard left curve. But man, coming back, it is full fucking retard right now, and it is funny to see. It has been quite funny to see. I'm not gonna lie, just kicking back and watching.
Never go full retard, man.
No, full retard or full gigabrain. You can't mid curve it.
Yeah, the mid curve is OnlyFans, man. So that covers the rest of the curve. That's the way to make money, man. Left curve, right curve, and OnlyFans. So simple,
That's real.
dude. All these memes. I'm not sure if anyone is on Instagram. Or I guess you are. And I'm sure it's the same on TikTok, but I don't use it. There's the engagement on crypto stuff there is way bigger than on crypto itself. Like videos have like tens of thousands of likes. It's whereas here, like if you're a big influencer, you get like 100, 150 likes, 200 likes, right? Like the influence there on the space is just way bigger, right? I mean, we saw that obviously with TikTok, but it's also just actually, I think, on average, funnier content, on those platforms, certainly on Instagram. And CT is so serious, in comparison. Believe it or not.
Yeah, there's a
Believe it
lot
or
of
not.
well,
brain
so
rot content.
No, look, you're gonna see a bunch of partnerships with like OGs and like these Gen Z fucks, like, and it's gonna be dumb, like just like you like Razmir and like the whole like Solana House thing, like that's kind of it, like right there, like this is where they bring the people on, who are reputable. Like, okay, when Kobe fires back up OnlyFans or up only. His
what
OnlyFans is
Kobe
closed.
OnlyFans were you on?
No,
'Cause
I've got it. Like, dude, he's closed it off just like his Twitter. Like, if you're in, you're in. But what I'm saying is we are just starting. We are just starting, and we are seeing a paradigm shift. And what you're going to see is people who were not paid attention to get paid attention to. Uh, Elon kind of said it, like, we're the new media. We are the new mainstream media, and we are literally witnessing this in real time. I don't know your group chats, but uh, seeing friends posts go viral with like a 25 million, like after 48 hours, 25 million impressions, 100,000 likes. Like, this is insane. Like, and this is the dude I met, and he's just a crazy little autist milady kid.
If you
And
sweep 10 stonks, you get into the Giga Chad chat. So go sweep 10 stonks and you're in.
okay, I'm gonna do that. What, like like what is this? Or is this NFTs or what are we doing?
Bro, the Wonky Stonks are my NFT project. Yeah.
On what chain? On what chain?
They're on ETH.
Okay, wonky stock.
ETH is the art chain, bro. Like it
Can
truly
I buy
is.
them on Blur? Are they on Blur? Nobody lists
I,
on Blur, do
I
they?
love how he's
No, they're
off
on
this
Blur.
stage and doesn't even know what the fuck a walkie stock
But
is. I
I
love this
kid you
space.
not, it has the best floor that I've ever seen with what's on there relative to like,
Look, I saw
yeah.
Kaleo come over to like the arena, and look, I'm an OG arena participant, and like he's one of the few that like kind of stayed and stuck around. Like, so, in my books, he's got credentials. He's a man of his word. Like, so I see Kaleo's like he's got a spaces. Like, I'm gonna join it. Like, that's just kind of where I stand on
So what
that.
you're
Like,
saying
maybe I don't
is,
know all the
is as an
shit.
OG arena, you dumped a no chill on my head.
No, I didn't dump no chill. Like, dude, I gave all my no chill to my kid. Like, he's got a wallet. It's pretty awesome. I made it last year, and uh, yeah, he's up tremendously, and he doesn't know how to sell, so he's like the best kind of fucking holder. Like, it's amazing.
Legend.
It's amazing. Like, and dude, Moonbags like gave some shit. Like, he's got some what is it? King shit. He's got a bunch of OG like OG for the new Avalanche people stuff. Like, it's really cool. Um, it's really cool. He did videos, and then I deleted them because I was concerned about, you know. Hey, we posted them. We got the likes. We got the. Then you delete it. You delete it.
Bro, you got to tell me what stonks you're looking at right now. I'm ready for this sweep to happen. The soap sweep, the soap. I cannot talk. The soap broom.
So what was it? OpenSea. I gotta go to OpenSea, right?
Or you can go to Blur. Like Blur, honestly, would probably be the better one to be able to just see everything that's
Oh
listed.
yes. I want to keep my 100%. Uh,
Loyalty.
I got 100 loyalty.
I mean,
Yep,
you can go to
exactly.
either. Like they're on both. So I think
And I
that
got
there
I got
are
certain wallets for both, right? Like, it's like I want to farm.
they're on
OpenSea.
both.
When are these motherfuckers launching tokens like Magic Eden?
Wait, did you just ask when is Blur gonna launch it? Oh Lord.
No, Blur already has like he's talking about OpenSea, I think, when they're gonna launch it.
Yeah, both actually. I mean,
Oh
I
no,
know,
dude,
I
bro,
know,
Blur's had
Machi.
multiple airdrops already,
No,
bro.
I know. I'm not literally trolling you.
I didn't know, man. I didn't know based on the
No,
penguin
no,
thing.
I've been here since 2017, but I don't know what's going on. Do you have a hash mask?
Bro, I do not
Like,
have a hash mask.
Sounds like
oh
you're
man, I
wearing
don't
the
know how.
hash mask and smoking the
I'm
hash
wearing the
mask.
hash mask. I'm definitely burning it. Let's go, brother. Hell yeah. That's like Native American. You don't understand the energy you unlock. You like tap into more percentage of your real when you hash max that shit.
That's on my
Don't
nation
tell
right
me you
there.
don't know what real is. You don't know what real is? For real? Google it. BRIL.
Hey
It's
guys,
out there.
I hate to break up your hash mash session there. I'm gonna get to
Sorry,
bed.
sir.
Um, it was beautiful to just hear your guys' voice on a space, man. Like I know I talk to you guys all the time on off a space, but just seeing you guys just here in my screen with all these PFPs that I've known for years now and built some really cool bonds, man. And
How many of these mofos have you met in real life?
I don't countless. I don't know, 20, 25 probably.
Well, I mean, everybody else on stage, other than Soul Trenches, I guess.
That's so cool. Like, that's the best part. Like like where it becomes like this is the crossover. It's just like serial experiments lane, like where the digital crosses over to the reality.
Well, that's
Uh,
something that's always been very, strong in my belief, in real life connection, face to face.
yes,
There's nothing more, appealing to us as human beings is,
or
being
real.
next to another fucking human being. So
It's the
I try to,
realest experience you can have.
I try to encourage it as much as we can, and it's just connecting with each other and sharing each other's love, man. That's what it's all about. And I'm glad I got to
Oh
do it with
yeah,
you guys tonight. And hopefully you'll do another one Friday and a couple more next week, because after that, Kaleo, I'm out for like 4 months
No,
without a
this
voice.
space that Cleo already said, this space does not end until Wonky Stonks reach all time highs.
Oh shit! All
Yeah.
right, well, should
let's
go
go. Oh,
a
how
couple
much is
hours
that?
then.
Homie's got some Ativan or some
Love you guys.
Adderalls.
Have a good night.
Love you,
Good night.
Aziz.
Good
Take care,
night.
man.
Later, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Vivance. It's
Hey,
Vivance. You sound like a Vivance fella.
can I just touch on that for a second about how important that is? I don't know that there's
Vivance?
another. I don't know that there's another community apart from Wonky that really mm, cares so much about face to face and being present to one another in all the different ways. It's quite remarkable. I mean, I've been
Hold
in
on.
all sorts of projects, but the vibes with the wonks is nothing like I've ever seen. And I've been a part of most of the biggest projects.
Okay, so I love that. I love that there are community members that feel this way. Uh, like, am I saying it wrong? I thought I read it as Kaleo. Just like, am I mispronouncing it?
It's whatever
No, you're saying it right.
yeah, it's whatever you want it to
You're
be.
saying it right, bro. You're saying it right. It's all good. I think you're okay. All right, cool. Uh, no, like the community vibes part is cool, but like in the in real life part is the best part, right? Like what you're saying, like when you get to go to these events and it's like, holy shit, like we're going here and it's like all these internet friends that I've talked to for years online are going to be at this event. This is insane, right? Like, dude, I mean, I got a passport just to go like meet some friends type shit, and it was fun. But I felt like I only met like a handful of these people. But I talked to a bunch of people online, only met a handful of people on this crazy excursion, which was still fantastic and a great life experience. Uh, but the craziest part is like, of all the crypto events I've been to, when I went to a local Milady event, it was hosted by Strawby. I don't know if you follow her. Jessie Supreme is her like handle. Uh, we were there were people driving in from all over, and there were 3 events over the summer of God. I think it's been since 2023, but it was these 3 events. I met more people that I talked to online than I've ever met at any event ever. And these are people I interact with, like not just not just like, oh, like randos. These are like, oh, people like we're in group chats and it's like, oh, there's this event in Texas. All right, oh, everybody's going to the Texas event. I'm like, damn, this is like 20 minutes down the road. This is fantastic. And everybody comes to this event and it's like, oh my God, I get to meet all these people. And the crazy part was like, for me, it's like very, Milady is very underground, like the essence of underground. And back in the day, skateboarding was underground. There was
Okay,
anti-political, it was anti-establishment.
bro,
There's a yo.
what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm kind
What
of
I'm saying,
lost a little right now.
there's such a convergence on the subculture is what I'm getting at. It's like the subculture of like anything from like graffiti to skateboarding to stunt riding on motorcycles to like extreme
All right, Soap, I love you, bro. I love you. We're gonna get back to it. I just feel like we're on a complete tangent right now. Where I get it. Like the subculture of meeting in person and doing whatever, like it's phenomenal.
I would pay
That's
to
an
not have to
important
hear
part
that
of it.
again. I would pay real
I,
Ethereum.
No, 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 no. I like the vibes, man. It was
I'll send you my wallet address.
Dude found his
it
calling.
was man, I like the vibes because it was all heartfelt, right? It's so that's the thing. I could tell all of it was authentic. And it's important. Like there are a lot of people that come up and they just spew bullshit and you can tell. But, did I follow every single bit of it? No. But could I tell that he was saying something that was like good? Yes. It's like sometimes I listen to music and do I know the words of some of my favorite bands and some of my favorite songs? No, I don't. But like the place that it takes me, I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I think
Yeah,
it's
Leo, I love you for saving me, bro. I love that. I love that, and I love you, bro. You're a fucking real one. I've been following you since 2020. Like this is
Soap. I've
you're a
just got to
real one,
ask,
bro.
man, how high are you right now?
I mean, I'm 5'11".
Okay, that answers it.
5'11" with the hash mask.
Yes. Soap, keep being you, baby.
Hey, look. Dr. Seuss told me no one is better at being me than me, so I'm gonna keep on doing it.
okay, so good. Oh man, dude. Want to talk about NFTs for a sec?
Hey y'all, I hate to head out, but I just
Yeah,
want to
let's hear
say
it.
thank you. I want to say thank you to Kaleo real quick. And man, you have been firing up these spaces again. Feels like some bull market stuff is happening. And I just appreciate every single one of you. The IRL experience, which was being talked about with Stonks, is by far greater than any other community. And what a privilege, what a pleasure. Keep it up. Love and light. Peace.
Love you, brother. When y'all doing a Dallas event? Because I will come there.
No, I mean maybe one day. We'll see. Maybe one day. All right. We got a couple new speakers up on stage. My man Fungibles up here. Welcome up. How's it going, brother?
What up, G? Right. I had to come up here and just appreciate that last comment. How high are you? And he just came back quick with 5'11", man. That was something else.
But it answered my
Banger.
question very clearly.
Correct. It was what we call a double entendre.
I think there's a song about it.
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably
I don't know.
is that we can hash that one out another day. B-Ways, you said you wanted to talk NFTs. Let's hear what
Ultimate,
you
he's
wanted to
trying to
talk.
he's derail here, derail there. Cleo just trying to dodge the derails up here.
yeah.
Wait, yo, Cleo, what's up, dude?
Yo, what's up,
What's
man? How's
up?
it going? Welcome up.
Thank you for letting me up. I didn't realize I'd actually come up here. Yeah, dude, I've been holding Wonky Stonks since last cycle. Well, actually, my wallet got drained, so it's kind of gone now. But it's a great project. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Sorry to hear about the wallet shit. So have you built back any collections or anything since then?
Oh yeah, I bought a couple more.
That's
Bad.
awesome, bro. I mean, see, the fact that you're up here and talking about it, and never have had you on a space before, but you're just a chill holder in the background. So I'm talking about what I was talking about earlier, as far as the reach that stonks have, people just aren't really aware of right now. Like it's a freaking dormant volcano that's getting ready to explode as soon as it really gets a little bit of traction. Like it's a multi-ETH blue chip project easily by the time it happens. So
It
just wait
reminds
for
me
it.
of like dude, I rated you so much with SPX, but it kind of reminds me of SPX. It's like it just needs a little bit of a spark, and then like boom. You know what I mean? Just in the take off.
Wait,
Hey,
SPX 6900.
yes, I
Yeah.
should have listened to you, man. Should
Let's
have listened.
go.
It's not too late,
I didn't
man.
I didn't know what these were. Very familiar with them, but then I noticed that it's from LedgArt.
Well, bro, it's my collection.
Yes. Okay. Well,
So
where the
yeah.
fuck have I been?
So yeah, no, this is my NFT collection that I dropped in 2021 as a free mint. It's all like generative art, right? Where I thought that back during the period of looking through this, my whole ambition behind it was to drop something that was authentic to my brand and my followership that would be able to introduce traders to the NFT space. So everything with this, like every wallet could claim up to one wonky stonk for free, right? And it was just the first to it got it. You could pay for extra after that if you wanted, but upon initial claim, day one, there was an 81% unique distribution. So over the past few years, it's consolidated down to like 44%, but 44% unique distribution for an 8,800 project that is
It's
at a
solid.
0.15 ETH floor is really solid, right?
Dude, the
Like,
fact that it's been at that floor for like over a year, and like the fact that you're still talking about it a cycle later and supporting it is kind of like that's enough, you know? That's
You said
pretty.
it's almost
That's
half
like
an
that's
ETH.
like more than
no,
90%.
0.15, 0.15 right now. The all-time high is zero point
S-
0.4, and it's touched that
Still,
twice, but
0.15 is solid.
yeah, 0.15. I mean, for a free mint, bro, the thing is, there's so many people. For me, the reason why it's still around, like, one, it's the community, right? Like, it's about the vibes. I haven't made shit on this. I put in way more of my own capital just buying it and giving it away than I ever have made anything off of any type of royalties, whatever else. Like, it's just a passion project. And that's why it's around, right? It's almost CTO without being CTO, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It's one of those things that, like, the community, whether I'm there or
STO,
not, would drive it.
single takeover. Sorry to cut you off, but
No, you're good, bro. But
STO, let's go.
I mean, it's like the same type of theory as, for me, you look at like squiggles. Why would a squiggle ever have any type of value with anything, right? Like it's generative art of something of a line that goes up and down that has some colors. Like it's because people believe in it, right? It resonates with people. It's something that as it grew with time, like it made more sense. And again, I looking at the stonks, like B-Ways brought it up earlier, the longer they're around, the more I fall in love with them. I think the history of it, with how long it's been around, how many people it introduced to the NFT space in general, like especially from the generative art perspective, like they're just slept on. So it'll when they take off, they'll take off. But like whether it's 0.05 ETH or 5 ETH or 50 ETH, like, I'm just vibing the exact same regardless.
I have a problem on these stages. I don't come up here because I always end up spending thousands of dollars on JPEGs. It's
No,
a pretty
I'm
good
tempted to
proposition
buy
there,
one
bro.
now.
Dude,
I just
honestly,
got
you
Sweet.
Nakamigos the other night. Got talked into that
you
shit.
could have picked a worse time to buy Wonky Stonks. This will probably be your best opportunity picking off the floor that you'll have for the rest of the cycle. Being completely honest.
Well, yeah, the shit
I'm a
that's on the
bleep.
floor right now, the crazy part about floor price moving is the average stuff that's on the floor right now is like it was listed months ago. So it was all listed like 2 to 3 times what the floor was at the time. They're all items that are basically just, you know, they're kind of like grails compared to what the normal floor stonks are. Are just kind of chilling there because whoever listed them hasn't paid attention to what's happened, or I guess they don't care. And so I think it's a beautiful thing. That's the great part about like exploration of price after a while of chilling there, is that the relative price for something is just, it's free. But they're always free. They're all free. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm bullish on it. I think they're unique. It's like the first chart art project, and wanted to do something completely different than anything I'd really seen out there, but something that at the end of the day, bro, it's memeable. It's like, again, I think it'll be hilarious one day when you're sitting there and you get the news channel talking about people buying JPEGs of a chart for tens of thousands of dollars rather than the chart itself. Like, seeing how upset the boomers that are trading equities and forex only will sit there and laugh, like, why would somebody buy this rather than the actual stock? I mean, I don't know. It's, to me, that's the meme. It makes sense. It's just vibes. There's never been a roadmap. It's just been us chilling and like meeting up and doing this for years.
Kaleo made JPEGs, or he made NFTs of charts before you could chart NFTs, and then was the first person to chart NFTs. I mean, the memes write themselves, really.
Kaleo Nakamoto.
Oh shit, what was
Hi,
the one that we
Tony.
just picked up? We got a 0.33 ETH sale a second ago.
Probably Grail. Go take a look.
Was it
Alright,
that
which
real
one of you
high
was
axis
it?
one?
What's that?
Is it the real high
It
axis
was the
one?
real
I
high
saw
axis
that.
one. Yep.
Oh yeah,
That
shoot, it
0.33.
was. And that's like one of those
Is
hidden
it?
traits. Yeah. 2400%.
I called that out
That's
on the
crazy.
Citadel. Hopefully somebody got it.
Yeah,
That's
there are a
one,
lot of
maybe
hidden
the highest I've
traits on
seen.
stonks. It's one things that like the people that are deep in the community know, right? Like,
Yakima has the
they
best thread
exist, but they're
on
not listed.
hidden trades. I'll pin it to the top here.
Yeah, pin the Yakima thread. That's the ultimate like intro thread to the stonks, as far as looking for like what the community over time is really valued, and good intro stuff.
Yakima, can you share the
Was it somebody in here that bought that stock?
The crazy part, Yakima's not even in this space. Oh yeah, he is. Never mind. I said it. He just pinned it right there.
cool.
What you were talking about before, Kaleo, about like the NFT representing like an image of a chart that you can't actually sort of so like the cultural aspect of making an NFT of a chart that's different from actually trading a chart, and that's what's so interesting for NFTs, in my opinion, is the sort of the cultural capital that people put into these sort of ideas. That's what makes them valuable, and it's sort of really hard to do with other assets. So I think that's like what I think is super cool about the NFT collection.
Appreciate that, man. By the okay, quickly, I pinned up there the guy that bought it, Deezy, in the space, bought that 0.33. My man. And Top Signal, I mean, dude, it's like, what it's like right now, building No Chilios and everything that you've been doing over there with that. Like, building a community is something that you can't really describe the feeling of it until you're doing it, right? Like, you don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know truly what it's going to turn into. It kind of just ends up taking a life of itself. But, it's why I really love the stonks right now. It's like the life that it's taken has just been the most chill vibes ever, right? Like, it's when you curate a community not based on utility, but just around the art and the vibes. Again, that's
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and I don't even think you can really describe it, even if you tried to. It's kind of like you just have to create a vehicle for people to use that sort of allows more people to join and do their own thing, and they're the ones that make the meaning of it. So you're not your sort of job, like a lot of projects, I guess, are like, oh, they want to raise a huge amount of money and then they want to do XYZ and whatnot. But what XYZ isn't actually where the project will go. That's dictated by what your community actually wants. So you can try and like shape it and sort of guide it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you as the sort of creator envision past the creation of it. It's sort of like it's an evolving thing, and I think that's what's super cool about NFTs. And I don't think you yeah, like I was saying before, I don't think you get that from like meme coins as much. Like meme coins are great for sort of like I guess immediately reacting to like cultural events, like what we're seeing with the sort of like rise of meme coins and Pomp Fund sort of just tokenizing memes as they happen every day. I think that is like a really cool thing. But NFTs have this sort of like a very different approach to tokenizing culture in a way that's, I think it's more interesting. I think it definitely has more sticking power, but whether or not that it turns into actual like financial capital over cultural capital is like a very different thing. So I'm interested to see if there actually is a second NFT bull run.
Well, see, that's the thing. Again, you're saying the if word. It will happen. And like what
Not
you're,
if, when.
no, it's a
It's already
hundred
happening, man.
percent when, and it's already starting a little bit. But like I was talking about that earlier, Top Signal, about how when I was in Miami for Art Basel, I kid you not, I was talking to a lot of founders of NFT collections from the previous cycle. I'm not going to name any of them. I'm not going to name their project, anything else. I can't name one that believed that the next NFT market is going to be more bullish than the last one, if they even believed it was going to come back. The majority of them had rotated their space to memes. They wanted to believe that it could be back. They're like, man, that'd be fun, but I just don't know if I'm in on that idea, right? Like memes are the new NFTs. And I think that it just shows you they've been around for one cycle, so they haven't really seen how this stuff rotates. The same things that made NFTs bullish last cycle, the same fundamentals, they're still there, right? And if you look at where NFTs really started to take off, guess what? Memes were the first narrative last cycle too. Pancake swap, all that stuff that was happening, that was all really happening before NFTs did much of anything. You had punks that were moving some at that point. You had a little bit going on with Top Shot and stuff, but really outside of that, not much. So we're actually ahead of schedule right now, in my opinion, with NFTs moving the way they are at this point. What is about to happen is so much bigger than what anybody is prepared to even imagine. It's not funny. Retail has barely started dipping their toes in NFTs at this point. The majority of people that are doing it are just people that I mentioned previously, that they're slowly regaining conviction as these start to move. It doesn't take much capital injection to really make the move. The FOMO is going to return, all the other stuff. The fundamentals are stronger than they were before. They're going to send way higher and way harder than they ever did the last time. Doesn't mean every dead collection is going to be revived, right? Like you look for the ones that have had life and have narratives. But the NFT bull market, in my opinion, is going to do, heck, it'll easily 10x what it did last bull market.
Yeah, I mean, like the general amount of money floating around now is a lot more than it was. But yeah, I think the collections that you're sort of interested in are the ones that actually have, like you were saying, a narrative. And I think like the two big ones, obviously, Milady and Pudgy Penguins, in my opinion, are like they're very different projects, but they're sort of capturing the imagination and the sort of, I guess, attention and want to participate that sort of you can't really do, yeah, with meme coins. So definitely, if the narrative like swapped to something about, I guess, more about finding like a cultural identity than it did so much about like just straight up money, and you could actually make money off people wanting to participate, then yeah, definitely it's going to be huge. But that narrative definitely needs to kick in. But I'm not saying it won't. Like we're definitely seeing some interest. Like Sappy Seals, shout out Sappy Seals. They're starting to pick up as well. Fuck, I love those guys so much. That was my OG collection. I remember watching the Stonks launch shortly after minting my Sappy Seals and being like, "Whoa, NFTs are the best," and getting like rugged on various loot derivatives. But no, I missed out on the Stonks. But I have one now, so and it's a grail. So I'm stoked.
RF, which song do you have?
It's like a Miami Vice one,
Yeah, you got a
which is
Miami Vice.
I like sniped it while everything was fucked.
That's bass. Some of my favorites are definitely devices.
I think it's like Crow style of Miami Vice. Am I wrong on that, Top Signal?
I couldn't I couldn't tell you anything other than the fucking gradient.
Well, I'm saying, is the gradient similar to the color of crows? Like if you look at the mutual speakers up here, and
Oh no, it's like pink,
okay,
and
got
it's like yeah.
there are a few different color combos that everybody calls a Miami Vice type vibe. So, but I
No,
definitely
no, this
remember.
is the actual like proper one. It's like the
Oh, the pink
like
and purple, or
magenta into yellow, I think.
Damn, you hear that, Crow? You just gonna let him slander your PFP stonks?
You got absolutely body there, man.
No, absolutely doesn't. I probably changed PFPs after that.
That was great.
Wait, what are we saying? I was brushing my teeth.
Probably better, man. Probably better that way.
Yeah, your PFP stonks just got decimated live on chain.
It's like top 3% in the collection right there. Probably top 2. So
I
enjoy
just
looking
heard
at
that
it.
you don't have the real Miami Vice. Is all I heard.
Oh, I never claimed it wasn't Miami Vice. I think it's like a sunset or a
Okay,
sunrise.
there we go. So I
I'm good,
guess I'm
I'm good
wrong
with that.
whenever I said Miami Vice with that. I've always just included that as part of the Miami Vice vibes.
I don't know. Rooster makes the rules with all that shit. I just listen to whatever he says.
It is true. I don't make the rules on that, y'all. Rooster knows it better than I do. But bro, that's
Is
what
it
I mean
Bruce?
by it's cool. It's like from the quote unquote community runs things type perspective, where the community is collectively decided what all of these like hidden traits are. Right? I like, you know, I don't decide that stuff. That's all community driven for what's happened. Like, and that's something what I mean, where you that type of culture doesn't just happen overnight.
The Rooster came up with this 9 trade idea, right? It's like kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but it gained traction, and like a lot of value as well. And it's like some sort of very obscure combination of lack of traits, whatever.
Bro,
But
it's
it's impossible to
the
see it as well.
it's your first ever chart that you ever look at, whether you joined, whether it be on the TV, whether it be on TradingView, whether it be on even Robinhood. The simple line graph is the first chart you ever see. No indicators
Dude,
because you didn't know how to put them on.
Yeah, you got like 100 stonks. You don't have a 9 trade, do you? You're all against. You've always been against them too.
look, I might have one. I just don't know how to recognize them still. So I don't know.
Hey,
They probably
same
don't have one.
D-Ways. It takes me a minute to recognize it. I know I've got a few. I hope I haven't given any. I think I have not given any away. But I think I've got at least a few of them.
No,
But
you
they are, when you know how to identify it, the 9 traits are one of the rarest in the collection. There are some like fake 9 traits though that look very much like them that are not 9 traits though.
Yeah, it's a lot of these cool things. Like one of my favorites is like the gaps. When there's some gaps in the chart. I don't
Bro,
even
I
know
was just about to
how to.
say that.
how you gonna
I don't
how
know
you
how they
gonna shit
happen,
on 9 traits and then put gaps on a pedestal?
dude. I mean, it's in the eye of the beholder, man.
No,
Well, there's also a
you're 100%
multi-gap
right.
one on the floor right now too. Like that's another one of the hidden traits that's just there. Like 2448 is a multi-gapper. But we just had another sale of a solid one on the wonky gradient themed, or not wonky gradient, the wonky area, wonky themed
Whoa.
area chart.
Hey, I think the fake 661 was actually featured in Yakamed's hidden trait thread.
Was it the one I snagged?
I think maybe it's about halfway down, maybe. Speaking of his
So for
thread, it
those of
has
y'all who don't know,
420,000 views, which is pretty perfect.
that is insane. But for those of y'all who don't know, oh, Fungibles, go ahead. I'll tell the story in a second.
I was just gonna say I gotta go to bed, but this is the first time I've come up here. You and I have been following each other for years now. We've been in the trenches. It's really good to hear your voice, be on the same stage with you and hear your voice.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming up. And I've got my bag of horny that I'm sitting on because of your tweet. So keep
Let's
sending that. Or
go.
worst case, if it goes to zero, the majority of the soul shit coins I buy do go to zero. So it is what it is. It's expected. Anything past that is a win. So we'll
Always.
we'll we'll wake up in a few weeks and see what happens to it.
It's like all we can do is touch ourselves, I guess. I mean, work hard on the CTO.
You know, there's actually
Appreciate
a
it, man.
very funny stonk meme in relation to that. I'll post it if I can find it in my camera roll.
I'm just looking forward to seeing Fungible's stonks bag the next time he comes up here.
Oh yeah, better act
I
quick.
have to get in that community. I was listening to you guys talk about them. You guys geek out on like we did rocks, where we're like, we found out there was like a different shade, and people put it in some hex color generator, and you're geeking out that wait, there's lines on this thing, and and 3 years before, some attorney or doctor, we
Wait,
come
what
far.
rock number are you?
90, 98.
When did you first get into the rocks community? I've always known you've had one. Like it's a badass PFP, but I never asked you when you got into it.
The day it finally minted out. And the reason I came there at the very end and I went to Mint 98, I got outgassed, and then so that I just went and bought it on the floor. It was only 9 ETH at the time, which, well, it was still 25 grand, um, price of a fucking Tesla. And how'd it get?
Dude, that's
It's based.
amazing. That
That's
is
that's
based.
based.
So like the fact that you got a day of mint out, either way, you know, legendary. So
Or I reached out to a few people because it was expensive. I reached out to Farouk, reached out to Cosimo and a couple other people. Anyways, Cosimo took me up, so he's half the owner. So I'm going to give him some credit.
that's amazing, man. Well, honor having you up here. Looking for hey, anytime we host these type of spaces with the songs, come up and vibe, man. I mean, we talk about everything that's in the NFT space, everything else in general. I mean, like, you might get Rooster and I just sitting up here bullshitting about whatever, but usually do them.
Yeah, before you go, wait until this new pinned tweet comes up.
What
Will
is
do.
It's a
I,
meme. It's a wonky meme.
I think. Listen, I have a short attention span. I have this thing called ADHD that a lot of people have. So I bounce in and out. But this space kept my attention. You guys had a little bit of everything. That's great. So I would love to take you up on your on
We
the
do. We
next.
yeah. We cater to ADHD minds and alike.
That's a dope.
I like it too.
That's a dope pick. It's on his balls because he is too hot, trying to cool
You
himself
could.
down.
Wait, I
You
didn't
could.
see
All you
the
gotta
ice
do is
bag.
touch yourself.
Hey, yo, not that I'm trying to look at your crotch right when I get up here or anything, bro. But you got an
Somehow
ice
that's
pack
the
sitting in
only
your
part
nuts,
that I
son.
missed.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, man. Well, thanks again for coming up here. Looking
Appreciate
forward to
y'all having
having
me
you
on
back on
here.
the next one.
Yeah, bro. It's like my second spaces in maybe like a year and a half or
Dude,
something.
let's
So
go. The bull market's back. Fungibles is coming back up on spaces.
slowly but surely. Thanks for having me.
All right, bro, take it easy.
Peace.
Hey, Kaleo, could I also make a quick reappearance to the bull market
Yes, of
before I go to
course, man.
bed?
Welcome up, man. Welcome up.
Thank you. Thank you, friend. It's good to hear your voice. This is my first time being in a space in forever. And real quick, can you give me a heat check on the Detroit Pistons record, sir?
Okay, let me check this out. What's it looking like? I know it's
I
not looking like the Thunder's record. That's for damn sure.
Oh my God, the Thunder look unbelievable. Holy shit. That is a monstrosity of a team.
Let's see.
But
Detroit
yeah,
Pistons. Oh, 10 and 15. You've got some wins this year, buddy.
that's right, baby.
Congratulations.
Double digits before the end of the year. We love to see it.
It's probably enough for the
Um,
playoffs in the East, man. Given how weak the
oh,
East is.
dude, we're not gonna say that word. We're not gonna talk about it. It's not gonna happen. We're gonna pick fifth again. That's just it. But Khalil, real quick, I want to thank you for kind of like saving my hide a little bit. Um, so early days of the arena, you fully pilled me on that. I was in the trenches, and when the first rug happened, I'm like, no, I'm gone. I left everything and I abandoned it. Right? You start tweeting about it again, how it's back. I'm like, all right, cool. Like that was really fun. I'm ready to get hurt again. And I open up my arena account, and I had missed the no chill airdrop. All right, cool. Yep, I deserve that. But you had given me a tip of it somehow, and that was like crazy to experience. And so I want to thank you for that first and foremost. Because yeah, I appreciate that. So thanks for that and all you do. And the stonk community is awesome. Stonks are inevitable. Glad to be back here waiting for 0.42069 floor price for spaces.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I mean, you know, end of the day, the way I look at the arena too, it's kind of from the SoFi perspective, like my pudgy type pick. I just think that it's going to keep going. Like you look good founder, good product. Slept on because it was initially like it had the rug, made the comeback, and it's still in that phase right now where a lot of people, there's some things that are turning around. It's getting some recognition, but the majority of people are just ignoring it. I think a year from now, people will still look back and be like, damn, okay, that really did play out. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these type things. You just have to kind of have a little bit of vision early, stick around with things that are winners, whether, whatever sector it's in. And that's how the majority of people win is just having that conviction to kind of sit through the boring time, prepare for the good.
Songs at $30, man. Those were the days. Like June 22, maybe 3. I don't know. Some time ago.
Legitimately, they were, right? Like 0.03 ETH after shoot, what's his name? He's like a doctor dude, ended up liquidating like a big bag and brought him down to a little like high
Yeah, and
point
ETH
oh
was at like 900
twos.
bucks.
Yeah, and ETH was like $900. So yeah, you get one after fees and everything, probably $30. It's like nothing.
I
And that's what
remember
that's
those
whenever
days.
Lumber started building up his position. Like Lumber was one of the guys that started just coming in and picking up a bunch off the floor there.
Yeah, absolute legend. He's like the Michael Saylor of stonks for sure. Similar supply, I guess. Actually more, right? He had like 4% or whatever, 3, 4%. It's even worse. We should take him out, man. Just I think it's worth hiring a hitman and just kind of locking some supply forever.
All right, so he was making a joke about like if he's still around, like insinuating that if he might die, and I'm thinking in my head like it'd be pretty bullish for the stocks if he did. It locked up those 300 stocks. I was about to send it in the group message like, anybody else think that? But I just kept that one to myself.
Happy to help, man. Happy to help.
Oh
Oh,
my
God,
goodness. All
dude.
right. You know, that it's
Dude, I'm sorry. I was making a tweet, so you couldn't hear me laughing, but I was fucking dying laughing. Oh shit.
Dude, I mean,
bro.
it definitely covered the cost of the hitman.
Think about how deflationary they are, right? Like, the more of us drop out of here, you know what I mean? Like, the less stonks that would be sold.
So we just need to have like a stonk squid game. And like, you know, by the end of it, we'll put in a big prize pool. By the end of it, somebody's gonna walk out with a lot of money. A lot of people are gonna walk out with like, you know, without any worries in life because they won't be alive. But overall, I think win-win for across the board.
As the artist of the collection, Cleo, I think you should be real careful about what's bullish for art here.
Well, I'm not the artist. You know, Hondo is the artist. He's got kids.
Jeez.
He's got kids. You can't do that to him.
Dude, it reminds me of can't remember, I think it was Wonka who told me like it would be pretty bullish if Mu Dang dies. The the hippo, you know, so it stays young forever, right? It would be bullish for the coin. Kind of similar vibe. Not
Mu
wishing that on this hippo.
Mu Dang and a
Nah, I
smoker.
disagree. Mudang's got to live longer first because, yeah, no, it's like Harambe. Harambe should be a way higher market cap. If you like RIP Harambe, the biggest thing ever. And it's barely scraped the surface of it. It's got to live longer first.
No, Mu Dang and in a smoker. 12 hours.
Bro, like there's no way the hippo tastes good. Not even baby hippo. There's no way. That's one meat that I think would be so tough. I'm not touching.
It's turning dark. Hey, by the way, like, has anyone
I'm gonna quote you on that. That's one meat that's so tough that I would never touch.
I mean, maybe I'm
yeah,
wrong. I'm gonna kind of Google like how does hippo taste? Is it good?
doubt it to be honest.
Hippo meat.
Yeah,
Okay, AI
Yeah,
overview.
Crow was thinking of
Hippo
other meat.
meat is said to have a mild flavor that's more flavorful than beef, but less flavorful than lamb. Some say it's fattier than venison and more marbled than the same. The New York Times once described the flavor as lake cow bacon. Um,
So
In
it's Wagyu.
1910, an American adventurer, a Louisiana congressman, and a USDA official introduced the Hippo Bill to import hippos and make hippo meat a food staple in the United States. However, the bill was unsuccessful. Hippos are primarily herbivores, eating about 80 pounds of grass each night, but they also have been observed eating fruit. What the hell?
Sounds like a delicacy. Hey, Wonky
Honestly,
Stonks
I kind of want to
4.69
eat some
ETH.
hippo now.
There'll be
I
hippo
take it
on
back.
me. Yeah, there'll be
I
hippo
would
on
eat
me.
Mudang. Why not? I'd
I
try
feel
it. Like as long
vindicated.
as yeah, grill that son of a bitch up. Or-
So Kaleo, at the first Wonky Stonks meetup, we're gonna have hippo steaks, right? That's gonna be the main course.
I mean, if we're
It
doing
wouldn't be the
if this is
first,
like a
but the
co-party
next.
with Mudang, why not? Like, but I think that's the only way.
I don't think we can convince them to eat the idol of their coin. I feel like that would be
Well, we
bad
don't tell them
for
initially,
the
right?
for the
Like that's
price.
the meme,
Yeah,
right?
it would be
We
bait.
do not tell them initially what they're eating. They just think they're eating. It's not until they start saying it that you drop the bomb and you're like, you realize what you just ate, right? Like when they're asking what cut of meat, where did it come from? And you're like, oh, well, you know, the came from Africa, came from like what country are hippos most prevalent? I've even got to Google this. What
but this one is in Thailand.
Madagascar.
what's that?
This one's in Thailand in any case.
Mudang is in
Okay,
Thailand.
so let's just say, yeah, it's from Thailand. And they're like, "Oh, okay, beef from Thailand, huh?" I'm like, "Well, some people call it. It's not beef. Some people call it the bacon of wait, what is the line? Some people call it
Of
lake cow
cow.
bacon." And they're like, "Lake cow? What do you mean by lake cow?" And it's like, "Well, have you ever heard the word moo before?" And they're gonna be like, "Dang!" And it's like, "Yes, you are eating your idol right now." And I think that would actually be hilarious. Under those circumstances, we could
This
make it
some damn
happen.
Hannibal Lecter type, some Hannibal Lecter type
Well,
shit.
actually,
But how
though,
do we think
I
it would affect the
have you
token
seen
price?
one person from them call Mudang Lake Cow Bacon? I think that's a huge missed opportunity.
If Mu
I say go for it.
if Mudang really dies though, I think it's gonna be like Peanut. Like if it just gets shot by some liberal, like some pink hair liberal just shoots Mudang, it's gonna be the next Peanut. Elon's gonna be tweeting about it, all that.
It is true. It's got some potential.
What about sacrificed?
That's crazy. You know what's crazy? My friend missed Peanut, and now every time we drive down the road and we see a squirrel, he's like, "I gotta run it over. I gotta run it over."
That's
Dude,
terrible.
I ate squirrel back in the day. I kid you not. I
How
had a
did it
really
taste?
It kind of tasted like chicken. I had a really redneck neighbor, and looking back on it, this is some really redneck stuff. So they lived down the street, and his dad always told us, if you ever bring back some squirrel, I will fry it up for you. Well, then happened to have another neighbor at another buddy's house that offered a few bucks for every squirrel that we would kill in our yard. So we had a BB gun, and we'd go out there and we'd squirrel hunt. And as these squirrels would fall down, we'd collect them and bring them back to my other buddy's dad. And it was a great system until a few days into it. We ended up like accidentally, it was not I that did it, but my buddy accidentally shot the lady's golden retriever. And it's a BB gun. Nothing serious happened other than like, so it was fine. Don't worry about the golden retriever. That would be blasphemous to talk about hurting it. But it was okay. But point being, we kind of lost our shooting privileges there. It kind of got out word in the neighborhood that there were some kids shooting a gun. They thought it was something different. Yeah, this is in the middle of a neighborhood too, like a subdivision. Um, so yeah, no, anyway, buddy's dad would fry up the squirrel for us. I would get into a lot of trouble with that neighbor though, man. It's like in his backyard, he had a compound bow, and we would do shooting practice at a target that we set up in the back of it. Well, he didn't have a fence toward the back side of it, and we got the cops called on us one day. And I, looking back on it at the time, I was so pissed. I'm like, we're not harming anybody. But with the compound bow, like if we're missing a shot and it fires over the fence to the other side, bro, we easily could have we could have ended somebody. So there were a lot of things that happened with that. I mean, okay, not to mention this like same guy, we like to shoot things. There was a creek down near our house. We kind of followed the creek, and there was like a ranch area right to the side of our neighborhood. So we followed the creek and snuck down into it. And in the creek bed, we built forts. Well, then we got the great idea. We all got into paintball, and we got the great idea to turn this into our like homemade little paintball area. And we did that for a while until one of my buddies accidentally shot a horse that was running down to the creek. So then the horse had like just the paint all over it. Next thing you know, next time we're down there, somehow we decided to do it again. Buddy rides up with a shotgun, fires into the air, and says, if you ever see us come back again, it's firing at us." So we did a lot of dumb stuff. But point being, yes, I've eaten squirrels, so hippo, not fully opposed to.
We should go. We should, we,
One of my favorite. Go
no, I
ahead,
said we should
B-Way.
go squirrel hunting in Lumber's neighborhood. It's kind of circle back to that one.
Dude, one of my favorite moments, especially out of Art Basel 22, was taking B-way shooting for the first time. That was probably one of the best hours of the most entertaining hours of my entire life.
But yeah, at the end of Art Basel, that was fun. I'm just simple European, and I'm not used to shooting anything. So it was a good experience in the center of Miami, in Wynwood. There's this what is it called again? But there's this pretty famous shooting range over there in the center of Wynwood, 26th Street or whatever. Yeah, like there, 20 minutes, maybe 50 minutes.
We
I
had them.
have a good picture of that somewhere.
We had him pick the yeah. There's a really good picture of that. We had him pick like the biggest guns to be able to shoot. As someone who's never shot guns before, so he ended up shooting some type of shotgun. I think some type of assault rifle, and then I think some type of bolt action rifle, maybe something like that. It was a very enjoyable experience.
He came out the trenches with a shotgun, eh? But I got a question. How did your friend mistake a Rottweiler for a squirrel? Like a Rottweiler is
Well,
big. Like,
first off, I said golden retriever, and
oh yeah, but still.
second off, it was not mistaking the golden retriever for the squirrel. We were middle school kids with a BB gun shooting towards squirrels. Like, have you ever seen a squirrel run around a yard before? Very erratic motion.
Yeah.
It's not like a straight line. They are quick, they are fierce, and they are agile. And then you've got a sixth or seventh grade kid with a BB gun trying to aim at one of these things. Very erratic motion, very, very uncontrolled. Don't really think about the consequences of the misses. You're just going for the action, right? So, you jerk that shot up a little bit, and next thing you know, there's like the dog's running in directions because it's probably scared as shit too, that it hears random fires and like it gets hit by the BB gun. So was it a mistake? No, the only mistake was probably this lady trusting middle school kids enough to shoot a gun in her backyard. Um, it was not a mistake by us.
Like I came from like an Arabic country, and it's like trenches there, like so bad. And then my cousins, they used to like hunt birds. Like they'd put a BB gun in the air, and they'd shoot down birds. And like I was like, one day I'm gonna lose my eye because it's just a bunch of kids shooting BB guns in the air. It's so bad.
Did you shoot your eye out?
Nah, I got close though. One time we were like in the house and we had like a bunch of cups. And like I don't know how to explain like Arabic buildings, but it's like all concrete and it's like curves around. It's not like living room, whatever, right? So we're just like with BB guns trying to shoot at the cups and whatever. And I felt like a pellet or whatever, a BB, like scrape near my face. And I was like, oh no, I can't look at charts no more.
Alhamdulillah, man. That's crazy. Dude,
Hey everybody,
go for it.
it's been fun. I gotta take off and hit the hay, but don't shoot anybody with any BB guns. And take care of yourselves. Drink some water. Have a great day, and remember that stonks are inevitable. Also, Kaleo, can you do these more often? But like not at 2 o'clock in the morning, but also like not like when I'm working. Like
Bro, they happen when they happen. That's the part of
just
life.
vibes. I understand. But 5 to like 11 prime hours. All right, adios.
Adios, man. I honestly probably need to get going here soon too. I gotta like stick to a semi-normal sleep schedule. Um,
By the way, oops, sorry. Did you guys see the rumor that Penguins might be buying OpenSea and integrate with Abstract chain? I thought it was pretty compelling. Maybe you talked about it earlier, but that would be pretty big.
I have heard the rumor.
It was a pretty good argument until the CEO of OpenSea um, kind of dismissed that
Oh
the other
yeah,
day, but
everybody's gonna
you
dismiss
know,
Right.
that type of stuff before it happens on major deals. Like that's just so I don't think them dismissing it really like kills it. I actually think the fact that they even acknowledged it probably means that something's actually happening behind the scenes because otherwise you don't even acknowledge that, right? Like so that's I kind of buy into it more now that they acknowledged it.
yeah, I mean, potentially, you know, shit could always happen.
It's like football
Just
coaches
the
before they
way I
leave a
interpreted it.
school. They're like, I am with them forever. Never ask me that question. Of course, I'm here. Next thing you know, so and so transfers to whatever school and takes X amount of money. Like, money speaks.
You leverage your position with another company.
So, yeah, I do think it's an interesting rumor, B ways, and I kind of buy into it. I think that it makes sense.
Yeah, I still hold like 100+ of these Gemesis, man. These little boats from whatever it was, a year and a half ago.
Wait, are they boats now?
Weren't they always boats, these Gemesis?
No, they must have updated the metadata. Mine were like diamonds. Mine were like the Magic Eden diamonds that ended up being worth nothing.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't looked at them, so
Dude,
doesn't matter.
I
But
still can't believe they're actually at 0.03 ETH. I really can't, considering they're 100,000 collection.
they're free, to be honest. If you think about it, that was the thesis. Like,
Free.
they are. I mean, if there's an airdrop tied to it, then you know it's not that much money either. Right? It's like 3,000 ETH or whatever, which is like what is that, 12 million bucks? I mean, it's not much if you think that a substantial portion of the value of any OpenSea airdrop goes to that collection. That's kind of the idea behind it, but we'll see. I guess we'll find out pretty soon, like in the next month or two.
Let's see.
Shit, I hope so.
What was their all-time high?
Keep the stimmies coming.
0.06, maybe 7. I don't know, something like that. That
Let's
area.
let's look at the Genesis chart. Ooh, let's see what we're looking at.
By the way,
Like,
why to do that? You know what? As I think Base also dropped something similar before OpenSea did, which also is kind of interesting.
what do you mean?
I never picked up any. Like it's one of those massive editions, couple 100,000
Oh yeah,
NFTs to base users. Some I can't remember what it's called. Probably base.
Yeah, I've minted so many massive baits that they launched so many of those things when they first um not base official ones, and I think I know which one you're
Yeah,
talking about, but
whatever.
okay, yeah, they were all the way down to 0.004.
yeah, because no one fucking used OpenSea anymore. OpenSea didn't want to do nothing but shoot itself in the foot and not innovate.
Well, yeah, we started believing like they actually did it as a commemorative thing, right? Even though no one wants to remember, right? So,
Yeah, this was like what? When did they launch these? Like it was over a year ago at this point.
yeah, like mid 23 or something, summer 23.
Yeah, talk about fucking slow rolling. Shit.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting potential play too. Honestly, not a terrible idea. Like if you're really planning on it, but I just wonder. Everybody's wondering, like, what do they actually do, right? Like, how do they incorporate that versus the on-chain activity versus everything else? I don't know.
Bro, if you just give me my gas back, because OpenSea had the most unoptimized contract in the entire world for NFTs when NFTs were popular. If you just give me my gas back, I'll be happy. Like, or even just approving the collections. You, I was spending. There was a point in time in the first week of Wonky Stonks where I was paying Wonky Stonks for like $180, and I was paying $250 in gas to buy the fucking Wonky Stonk.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So just even if they just give me my gas back, I will be that will be a massive stimmy for me. Like it'd be one of my largest stimmies of the year.
Literally $100,000. I wouldn't expect that. Also, I wouldn't say go and pick up Genesis, right? But It's just funny to think about. I'd rather pick up a stonk. We can look at it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, but B-Ways, you have your hand in everything. You're gonna just freaking kill it in the next couple years. VK, by the way, I tried to bring you up, brother. It wouldn't let me for some reason, but I also probably need to cut the space off here. I've got some meetings in the morning and I really should get some sleep before then. So appreciate all y'all for coming on. I will host a lot more of these. I think that, like, again, we're really early in this phase of where, oh shit, we just got another couple stock sales right then. It's badass. Like, yeah, with the floor the way it,
They just bought 10 more minutes of your time.
dude, I don't think so.
No, I'm
Hey, it's
playing.
it's about like it's about discipline with this.
Hey, it could be ZK coming up to say about the stonks he just bought. He bought
I
the
see. That's why I wanted to bring
wonky
him up there
Ichi.
because he brought a pretty badass stock. I'll
Oh
give
yeah,
him one
dude.
more attempt to bring him up, but I did try. Like, it just wouldn't.
Oh, and now oh my gosh, they're flooding. Who is accepting all these people?
Good night, man. I need to sleep. I'm going to. I like VK. Unfortunately, brother, I tried multiple times. It will not let me. You might have to leave the space and come back. I'll let Future Whale say.
Wonky Stonks are inevitable, boys.
It was nice talking to you guys. Like the other NFT spaces I go into, they're just yelling at each other and fighting. You guys are so super chill. I walked in here, it's like you're just conversating about different topics. You make me laugh. I'll definitely be in the next one.
It's awesome, man. So, how many stonks
Oh,
do you have,
someone's
Soul
sleeping.
Trenches?
I haven't had any, but after tonight, like I'm thinking of getting a few. Cause forget it, like you gotta listen to Warren Buffett. You gotta get your stocks right.
That's it, bro. I mean, hey, Tesla tweeted out. I pinned it up there. Tesla tweeted out stonks today.
Dude, that was
That's
crazy.
crazy today. It's inevitable because like it's ironic, like Elon was saying, it's irony. Like people are gonna be like, "Oh, I got my stocks," and then they're like more than the share price of like right big stocks, and then they're like, "Oh, now it's more than 10 shares. Now it's more than 100 shares."
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there is a meme there, right? There is a meme there, and the art's there. Like, and like B-Way said, bro, the art just keeps, honestly, it really does just keep getting better.
Yeah, the bigger it gets, the better it gets. It's like almost like I own the chart. Like forget about your Tesla shares or your 401k. I own the chart. You know.
That's
For
it,
real.
man.
Bro, if you're having a bad day, you just simply look at one of your bullish charts and they don't lose percentages at all.
It's true. Or you look at one of the bearish ones and you're like, well,
At least it's not that bad.
or you look at the
The
I,
crap
higher
I think
market
low.
and you're like, okay, I feel the pain, but this is at least kind of cool. I mean, so yeah, man.
yeah, we gotta flip Berkshire A shares. What are they at? 300,000
Well,
bucks.
bro,
I think that's a good target.
again, I mean, I'm a little bit delusional, but I feel like you have to be in this space. I really think stocks easily can hit 10 plus ETH this cycle, right? Like, I definitely think it can happen. So,
Easily.
um, anything less than that's FUD. All right,
Great place to end
with
it.
that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, and we'll be back. Hopefully, I'll have some time tomorrow, if not for sure on Friday. So, love you all and
Sounds
take it
Good
good.
easy.
night, gents.
Take care, guys.
Good night.
Ciao.
Stonks are inevitable.